All right, we are live. Welcome back. This is Total OS Today, Total Technology for Beginners and Beyond. It's another live stream for Sunday evening. Hope everyone is doing well. Happy holiday weekend. Hope you're having a safe weekend so far. Great day today in Ohio. Beautiful sunny day. High school graduation for my son. All went well. So it is about 9 minutes to official showtime, so we will wait and get this started around 10 o'clock. I'll probably upload this as a podcast and MP3 on the archive.org. If you wish, you could download that part sometime during the week. It is a free download, but support the channel if you can. It would be appreciated. All right, so we're all looking good on my end. Like I said, it is a holiday weekend, so I don't know how many people will jump on. So we'll see how things go for this evening. Getting all my stuff ready to go here. Let's see. Looks good on my end. So yeah, we'll get started in about 9 minutes. If anybody happens to be by the chat, stop by and say hello. Let's see what's on Linux today real quick. Oh, Canonical releases major kernel updates for Ubuntu up to Ubuntu 14.04. Interesting. How to enable click to minimize on Ubuntu. Yeah, that's not enabled by default. They should have. Debbie and goodies. Anyway, if you are new to all this, if you are a Windows user, please stop by and say hello. This channel was designed primarily for beginners, newbies, people who are curious about Linux and the world of technology. Let's see, we have the LXQT desktop, a story about that. Might take a look at that. KDE's new Elisa music player, so close yet so far away. Okay, whatever that means. And let's see, anything else here? Just a couple of news items. Hello, Keegan. Is this the nonsense you're looking at? Yes, you are looking at the nonsense for this evening. Don't worry, there'll be plenty of nonsense news for this evening, including a crappy story. Hint. How you doing? Check the weather forecast real quick. It was supposed to rain today, but it didn't rain. It turned out okay. Yeah. Let's see. Tomorrow, Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day. And thank you all the service members who serve this country. Unseasonably warm tomorrow. Humid with highs in the upper 80s. I love it. I love the heat. It's better than the cold, ain't it? Right, Keegan? Yeah. It went well, thank you. Like I said, this morning looked like rain. It cleared up nicely, sunny, warm. I think there was 72 teenagers in the graduating class. It all went well. I didn't really see any issues. The ceremony was about a couple hours. Yeah, it went very nice. It was a perfect day. So I posted some pictures, or a picture on my personal Facebook page. I may share that here, maybe sometime during the week. Me and my son. But overall, yeah, it was nice. Can't complain. So, Tim F is in the house. How are you, sir? Happy Sunday. Narwas Ali is in the house. Hello, hello. Welcome all as usual. So I'm just getting my stuff ready for the return of news and nonsense, at least for tonight. This has been a popular format in the past. I promise you, if I can get the proper funding for the channel, like on a monthly basis, I can upgrade the office. I promise you to bring back a regular schedule, including news and nonsense. Probably every Sunday night. How does that sound? Narwas, I'm doing fine, thank you. Tim, if you want to join the stream, you're more than welcome to. Don't know how long I'll be on tonight. Probably not past 11 or midnight. That depends who else wants to jump on. My day is done. Of course, tomorrow is my son's graduation party, but that's not till 3 o'clock in the morning here locally. Kagan was replacing a power steering hose on your car and it got rained out. You know, my son's car is back in the shop again. I feel so bad. I got it out of the shop last week from the local Napa service center. They did a great job. They recharged the AC, fixed the door, and got it back, and now he's leaking brake fluid. Anyway, but he's been patient. I told him I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. So I'll hopefully pick it up Tuesday or Wednesday. He wanted a Toyota Tacoma for his graduation. Those are nice vehicles, of course. Toyota. You can't beat the reliability. But I told him, Michael, I don't have the spare 40,000 right now, but I promised him if my dad sells his movie, I'll buy you a whole fleet of those trucks. Him and his mom. But anyway, all right, let me go to my Gmail here. Tim, give me a second. So Tim, how you feeling? Have you gotten your voice back? Did you figure out what was the issue with you cutting out Friday night? Yeah, you kept cutting out. Don't know if it was a storm or something else going on. I can't remember. Give me a second here. Okay, let me grab the link. How's my mic? Is it okay? Looks good on my end. Alright, the link is coming now, Tim. And I'll keep that open there. Okay, Steve Spence, welcome. Howdy, Robert. Hello. CFWW. Keegan says, that's been my car. One thing gets fixed and another messes up. I'm guessing it's an American car. What can I say, man? I used to have a Toyota, used to have a Honda, the most reliable vehicles on the road. I wanted to get my son for his first car, like a little Honda Civic 4-cylinder Toyota, but he's taller than me. He doesn't fit in those type of vehicles. And I had to go with an SUV. I couldn't afford what he really wanted. So I had to compromise, and anyway. Tim, your voice is great. Not sure if the issues were weather related or distro related. Okay, let's see if it works tonight. Awesome. All right, Tim. Check your email. Everything is good. Thank you, Narwas. So yeah, we have a few minutes. We'll wait. I'm not in a rush for this evening. Like I said, my day is pretty much done. Just chilling out for this evening. How's my lighting? Okay. Maybe too much. Yeah, one of the things I would like to get in the future is a higher end camera, like a Canon Rebel with an HDMI out for streaming. Something better quality. Don't really need 4K, but something better quality. But of course you need to have a decent computer to match that, so I think we're okay. 2010 Ford Edge, yep. Yeah, I had a feeling it was an American car. You know, I seldom, almost never see, at least here, broken down Hondas and Toyotas being towed. Oh, I think once in 20 years. They know how to build them, don't they? And we build Legos. But I told my son, if he ever has a date with a special lady, he can just take my Buick. My Buick is not bad. He can just take my car, so instead of his SUV, if he wants to. The Ford Edge, that's an SUV, right? If I'm not mistaken, I think so. Let's see, check my messages here. Yeah, it might hit almost 90 tomorrow. I love it. Whereas parties out there is a pool in the back. I don't know if it'll be ready. It's not heated. But if it's open, I'm going to eat my pizza or whatever they got, and I eat and jump in the pool, man. It is an SUV. Okay, cool. Yeah, when I bought my Buick, I did some research. It's a Buick Rendezvous, and they stopped building those in '07, '08, somewhere around there. But Buick or GM wanted to copy the Lexus SUV to build their Buick. So the Lexus was like their blueprint, if I understand correctly. I thought, well, at least they're trying to copy the Lexus and not the Pontiac. My car is held up. It's no Lexus, but it's held up. Ah, Tim.
I am here.
Yes, you
Can
are.
can you hear me okay?
Awesome.
Awesome. Let's see if it can last for a while tonight.
Okay.
Um Sorry about the other night. I need to
Not a
apologize to you and all the viewership out there.
not a
Apologize.
problem. It happens. It happens. Don't worry about it. Luckily, we had enough people as co-hosts to join me for a nice, funny. I posted a couple highlights. You may have caught or not, but if you haven't, take a look at the two highlights. They're very funny.
I did.
Okay.
I actually
Okay.
did. Yep.
Okay. Well, we can build on that theme tonight.
Yep. Yeah, I think I actually figured out what my connection problems were the other night. We had some rain come through, and we're on the whole Comcast Xfinity thing, and every so often that'll just kind of give us issues. And I started looking at Chrome and Chromium,
Yeah.
and when I throw Chrome or Chromium onto a distro, I just log in with my Google account, and it pulls all of the, of course, history, all of the browser history, the cookies, the whole 9 yards. And I thought, I wonder if that's what's giving me the stupid problem here. So I actually canned Linux Mint,
Okay.
went back to Ubuntu, and like an hour ago, I was reading through and saw that Pop! OS had done some things to kind of fix some of the issues they had when they released their 1804. So I just got done installing Pop! OS, and things are running beautifully. I still have some stuff I have to install just to get the distro to where I need it, but we'll see if this works.
Well, Linux is predictably unpredictable depending on the marriage of the software and the hardware. That's just the reality. Now, if you buy a machine with it pre-installed, you should have zero issues, just like if you bought a Mac or a Windows machine.
Yep.
But lately, with the specific distros I've plugged in, I haven't had those issues. Ubuntu Mate, Linux Mint Mate, Peppermint. Haven't had. I tend to stick with the few that I'm going to guess are going to be just about perfect out of the box, but it can happen. You just never know. We were talking about cars. Kenny Whidden, Ford builds junk. I hope they're not all junk. I used to own a Ford T-Bird back in my days in Florida. It was a solid car, but it was only a two-door. When you have kids, you can't really get much or get around with the two-door. Keegan says, we'd love to have a brand new Toyota or Nissan. Yeah, my son wanted a Tacoma, but Robert used to own a Rolls Canardly. Canardly? It rolled down one side of it and can hardly get up the other side. Aha. I bet. Okay. Daniel Kovacs. Hello, Daniel. Says Gnome. Gnome? In the past, I called it genome, and they say, you're saying that wrong, newbie.
Gnome.
Oh, like Dead Beef Music Player is fine.
I'll be right back, Toss.
Sure. Sneaky Linux. Hi, Sneaky. He says, morning geezers and gazettes. Yes. I almost hit one the other day, a gazette. Oh, wait, that was a deer. How you doing, Sneaky? How's that Prius holding up? Kenny, you worked on cars 25 years. Ford was one of the worst. Aren't all the American ones not up to par? That's my guess. I don't know. But, yeah, Toyotas, Hondas, man, they just keep going and going. It's too bad, really. Yeah, but, you know. Anyway. Steve Winkler, welcome. Kagan pronounced GNOME Resource Hog. It is. I mean, I have it in my other machine. It's stable. It works. But you need 4 gigs of RAM. On their website, it says you can run it with 2 gigs of RAM. You could, but you don't want to. No, you need 4 gigs. Trust me.
immediately. Yeah,
Trust me.
I'm
Yeah.
a GNOME user. Well, fairly consistent a GNOME user, and if you have anything less than 4 gig, forget about it.
No, Tim. Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Jeez, have I taught you anything this year?
Good Lord. Good Lord.
Uh,
I just got to hang around with you a little bit more often.
yep, I'll corrupt you. You stick around with me, kid. I'll teach you everything out of New
Oh,
York.
like I've said, we learn here more by accident than elsewhere by design.
Is your wife from Minnesota also? Or is she a city
My
gal?
oh my well, my wife is from Minnesota. I am
Mm-hmm.
dominantly from the Minneapolis-St. Paul metropolitan area,
Okay.
and my wife is from a small town on the Minnesota-Wisconsin border called Red
Okay.
Wing, Minnesota. Have you ever seen Red Wing shoes?
I believe so. Yeah. I
That
think so.
is where the Red Wing shoes are made and shipped from.
Ah, duh. Of
Yep.
course. Okay. Steve Winkler, welcome.
Hi, Steve.
I have an SUV, so my trunk is fine. I don't technically have it. So I just pop open the hatch and roll down the seats, and I'm good to go. So, and my son's SUV is the same way, but it's pronounced Gnome by Sneaky, unless you're Italian. Hey, you talking to me, Sneaky?
You ain't talking to me.
You're not
I
talking to me.
I
I
ain't,
say
I
it the way I want to, okay? And to me, it's G Nomi. Just
Daniel
having fun, guys. Yeah.
Daniel Kovacs has Red Wing work boots. Awesome, Daniel.
Wow.
There used to be a couple of Red Wing shoe plants actually in Red Wing, Minnesota. Now I think there's only one, and I believe that they possibly make them somewhere else now as well, outside of Red Wing, Minnesota.
Those are pretty good shoes, aren't they?
Yeah, excellent shoes.
Okay.
Excellent shoes. Excellent, excellent. Very well built. A lot of truck drivers or utility type folks,
Yeah, yeah.
construction type folks, steel toe needing people. They wear a lot of them.
Nice. I I usually buy New Balance tennis shoes. I have a wide foot. I buy 3E or 4E wide. Um, I got pig's feet, I guess, is in Italian. I don't know. But I buy anywhere between 13 and 14 wide, extra wide. And I don't know if Red Wing makes wide widths, but New Balance is pretty good. So,
Oh yeah, Red Wing.
yeah,
Red Wing does.
cool.
As
I
soon as
post,
we
yeah.
as soon as we got to I think as soon as we got to about our probably about 65-degree weather here in Minnesota a couple of weeks ago,
Hmm.
the flip flops came out, so I don't need to worry about tennis shoes or work boots or anything even as such as that.
Well, tomorrow's going to hit 90 for my son's party. I'm just going to wear, I think my mom said, should we get dressed up? You can. I'm going to wear a t-shirt, shorts, and flops. It's going to be warm. So, anyway, all right, we'll get started here in a minute. I posted a couple links here if you guys would like to support the channel there through PayPal. Need a shirt or maybe the Amazon link there. They're all there at the same post. So check that out. Yes, Nikki, another wide foot person. I have a wide mouth, a bigger mouth, and a bigger foot. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, all right.
How hot did it get in good old Steubenville, Ohio?
It hit the
USA?
80s. It was hot today. Tomorrow might hit 90. So, I mean, it looked like rain this morning for graduation. It cleared up. It turned out to be sunny and beautiful. It was a nice commencement, about a couple hours long. Ran into my friend the mayor, but it all went well. I can't
Awesome.
complain. It was very nice. It was just about perfect. So,
We hit 102 in a town out in western Minnesota.
102.
102 at the municipal. It's some small town out in the middle of nowhere.
Wow, that's
It's like
crazy.
Lock Prairie Regional Airport and smoothie bar or whatever they've got out there in the middle of nowhere.
Wow. All right, let me get started here with the news and nonsense. We'll get the show, and it's about 10 after 10. So, like, and I may sometime this week edit this into a MP3 podcast on archive.org. If you want to download it later, the download is free. All right, let me get this situated here. Make sure I got everything.
Daniel has said Red Wing will repair your boot if needed. That's one of the cool things
Nice.
about Red Wing shoes. If you have something and it goes bad, they stand behind their stuff
Really?
like no other shoemaker.
I'll keep that in mind. Nice,
Yep.
nice.
Awesome.
Okay,
Do an
nice.
awesome job.
Excellent. All right, let me go ahead and screen share. All right, you guys should be able to see that. Let me get out of the tunnel vision. Okay, we'll get started. If I miss a comment, remind me or let me know. Someone, I'll get to your comments. All right, so this is just random news stuff from around the web. This is from UPI. Pizza makers, of course, we got to talk about pizza, right? Pizza makers create longest Neapolitan fried pizza. A team of 100 pizza makers teamed up in Italy to set a new Guinness World Record for the longest Neapolitan fried pizza. I'm not sure about fried. But let's see, it was composed of a circular closed dough with cheese sauce toppings dipped into boiling oil in Naples to create 23.5-foot long pizza. Well, that's good enough for me and my friend. What about you guys? No, I'm just kidding. But the pizzoli, I guess that's what they're calling it, contained 183 pounds of flour, 110 pounds of mozzarella cheese, 33 pounds of ricotta cheese, and 15 pounds of tomato sauce. They said it was a matter of pride, I guess in Naples, because the previous record was held by pizza makers in Milano. The Italians definitely love their pizza, don't they? Let's go on to the other item here, also from UPI. A tricky raccoon steals sandwich from a trap cage. A woman whose father put a sandwich into a trap cage filmed a feisty raccoon outsmarting the mechanism and stealing the meal. I'm not sure what this is at, but they're not too bright there, are they? But this Colleen said the raccoon, which her family named Ricky, no, maybe they should just call it Sneaky because it stole the food, right? Has been living outside her family's home for some time, and her father started putting sandwiches in the trap cage, leaving them on the deck. That is one smart raccoon. All right, let's move along. This is from the mirror.uk. Drug dealer disguised 1.2 million, I guess that's pound, mansion complete with disco, room, gym, and library, disguised it as a cowshed. And let me tell you, the parties there were unreal. But no, a drug... I'll get demonetized. What the heck?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, let me tell you, the party there, forget about it. But the drug dealer who tried to disguise his mansion, complete with a disco room, gym, and a library, as a cowshed.
Basically a barn.
Yeah, well, I'll scroll down the picture. There you go. Had his property home seized. This person, 63, built the 6-bedroom Shedley Manor in the Derbyshire countryside in 2002, but concealed it. But the UK people, they know how to party, don't they, Tim? But
holy crap. 100 grand worth of art?
I'm just going by what he constructed the property in his mom's backyard. Oh, that's a nice way to honor your mom. But according to her, the best found more than 83,000 worth of art, as well as designer shoes, probably Red Wing, Rolex watches, and of course, cannabis. So they smoke grass. I'm surprised there's any grass left here from smoking all of it. But
is there an outhouse? If he would have put a freaking outhouse up, he would have never have gotten busted, dude.
So
never.
that's where he failed. They discovered yes.
If you put the crapper on the outside of the house, they'll never think you're disguising a mansion.
There you go. See, he wasn't too smart, was he? They discovered a secret room where 40,000 pounds, I guess it's pound worth of the drug was being grown using an illegal supply of electricity. What the heck? Look, if you're going to go illegal, you might as well grab electricity too, right?
So this guy outfits his mansion to look like a barn. He's got 100 grand worth of artwork.
Yes.
He's growing reefer in a secret room. He
Yes.
doesn't have an outhouse to
Uh-huh.
help throw the authorities off,
Yep.
and then he steals the electricity.
Yeah. I
Are we
don't know.
surprised? Are we surprised he got caught?
I know. I know. Not too bright. The home has been confiscated. Okay. Let's see here. Police discover secret room. Okay, and all that. Let's see anything else here. He must pay a confiscation order of £650,000. The proceeds of his crimes or face a further 5.5 years, and maybe he can sell his cannabis in prison. I don't know. Let's see anything else here.
So he has to pay about 850,
Yeah,
800 grand, 850 grand.
something like that. Yeah, yeah. Well, you on the surface of it, it looks like a clever disguise because that doesn't look like a high-end drug house. You know what I mean? It looks like a barn or a simple, But if you're gonna do it, you would think you would want to conceal and not steal electricity.
Yeah,
Well,
you would think so.
well, more power to him. But a bump bump. Okay, let's move on.
Boy, oh boy.
Okay, well, so we did talk about food. This is from the Mirror again. This has been in the UK. 5 reasons why you're farting too much, and what makes them smell so bad. We
I got
fart on.
to.
Yes, go
I
ahead.
have. I can already answer this.
Ah,
Budweiser and White Castle.
is that what it is? Well, let's see what they say here. This came out a few days ago. We fart on average 14 times a day, but there are 14 times. Gee, no wonder I can't get a date.
They
But
aren't in my house.
there are a
And
few reasons why the quality
come
and
hang at my
quantity.
place.
Oh my God! Let's see if we can find some scientific reasoning.
14
What the,
times a day.
that's what it says. We average 14 times a day. That sounds excessive, even if you eat like fiber bars.
Between me and the dog, we've got that beat in an hour and a
I was
half.
gonna say just a dog will probably do that, but anyway, whether you find farting funny, disgusting, or like to pretend you never do, it's a bodily function we all perform, also known as passing wind, less polite names. We produce a half a liter of fart gas a day. If all the humans are doing this, it's incredible that we have not blown up the earth yet with methane.
I have a
But
question here.
sure,
How do you grow up and get a job collecting fart gas in liter jars?
I
Because
don't know. Yeah.
somebody's measuring it, right? So that means there's somebody standing around with a beaker.
Or they have some kind of like a handheld, like a Geiger counter or something. It's except it's a fart counter. I don't know. So, uh,
My wife's shaking her head, going, "Yeah, people do that."
okay. Well, I guess whatever in the name of science, right? If everything is ticking along nicely, no, you mean tooting along nicely from Mastodon. Okay. Well, this fart gas is spread over 50 daily farts. Multiply that a month. That's a lot of gas. Apparently, this doctor, a physician at the American College of Gastroenterology, explained why some days are gassier than others.
Steve just said it's a crappy job, but somebody has to do
Uh,
it.
but a bump, I figured I would let someone take that joke.
Wow.
Yes, yes. Let's see here. So why we fart? It's a physiological necessity. We need to release all that intestinal gas which builds up as a result of digesting food. So the food through the digestive tract, stomach, small intestine, colon, rectum. Okay, gas is automatically accumulated as a result of swallowing air when we chew or talk. Okay, the buildup can be caused by accumulating bacteria in our gut and carbohydrates which haven't been digested properly. I guess they have a top 10 list. I'm not sure. But number one, in-flight farting. Ooh, that would be the worst. Have you ever noticed how you're a bit more liberal with the farts when you're on an airplane? I try not to be.
Because of the pressurizing in the cabin.
That's what it says. High altitude causes the gas in our bodies to expand. Oh. That looks like this guy trying to give the weather forecast, and he's about to blow one. In turn, this leads to bloating and eventually flatulence. Bearing in mind how packed commercial flights can be, yeah, that can be a problem. Healthy eating. Not all the food we eat gets digested, okay? Anything our small intestine doesn't process gets passed on to our larger intestine where it brews. Ooh, like coffee. Fruit, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes all generate a stink. Okay, too much air. Yeah, that's usually required. There are two sources of our farts. One is the gas produced in the large intestine. The other is the air we swallow, which makes its way through our digestive tract. Welcome to the science show. Let's see. The good news, if you're swallowing a lot of air, the farts, which are a byproduct, tend to be odorless. Oh, rather than the silent but deadly variety. Okay. It's called aerophagia. Isn't that a new airline? I don't know. Hey, Tim, let's try to. I know.
I was just gonna say, holy crap! This went over the edge here.
Yeah, really. Look, these are all real. If it was fake, I probably wouldn't do it. But they're funnier because they're real. Number 4, absorption. Now on to the silent but deadly variety. Okay, let's have a lesson here. When farts are particularly unpleasant, maybe because our bodies are having trouble absorbing certain nutrients. The carbohydrates in bread, pasta, rice, potatoes might have consequences. Translation: fart stink bomb, I guess. Number 5,
Wait,
something.
go
ahead.
I got a question here.
Yes.
Are you telling me sitting down and having a peanut butter and jelly sandwich at lunchtime, and then having a potato with dinner at night is going to be worse for what sneaks out of me than having, like, I don't know, Taco Bell for dinner?
According to this study, that's what I read. If you'd like to debate this, you're welcome to send a reply blog to themirror.co.uk. So, the quantity and quality, oh my God, of our farts will differ from day to day.
Quality? How do you use the word quality in the same sentence as farts?
I guess it's all in the name of science. I don't know what else to say. But that's the story. 5 reasons why you're expelling too much.
Wow.
Okay, now that I've totally destroyed the show, let's move on to the next one. Also from the UPI. Bakery omits middle word from summa cum laude. I guess this is a Christian bakery and they took offense to the middle word. I'm like, really? It means honorable mention, like honorable achievement. I mean, I know, but apparently a South Carolina family said a store's bakery refused to print summa cum laude on their son's graduation, confusing the term for profanity. Oh my! Are they all idiots down south? Jeez.
Okay, we need to check on the education level of the bakery owners, I think.
Not to pick on anybody, but let me
no.
Yeah.
But isn't that? Didn't you see that saying at your son's graduation today?
That's Latin, isn't it, for like honorable achievement or something like that?
Summa
right?
cum laude. Yeah.
Yeah. That's used all the time. Where was this at? It was from Publix. I used to go there all the time in Florida. Go ahead.
Let's elect somebody in the chat to look up summa cum laude.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's honorable or high achievement or
Steve
highest.
Winkler. Steve Winkler looks like he'd be quick with the Googling.
Yes. It was a special graduation edition cake. I can't believe I'm the first one ever to write summa cum laude on a cake. Oh wow. Publix.
You're back on that previous story.
God, I'm just going to call them Publix because they messed up. Publix apologized to the family and offered to refund the price of the cake. The cake experience was kind of frustrating, humiliating because I had to explain to my friends and family like what they meant. Oh man, you know what? To be fair, I used to go to Publix all the time. I did not have a problem, but yeah, you would think that someone at Publix would at least look it up. It's called the web, internet.
Oh.
Well, anyway, congratulations to that person for graduating summa cum laude. That is a very good achievement. Very few achieve that. So, in spite of let's move on.
Did you go to Publix stores down in Florida when you lived down there, Toss?
Publix, Albertsons, another one. Yes. Yes.
What do you have up in the Ohio?
Oh, we have Kroger's.
Kroger's. Okay.
Yeah, Kroger's, of course, Walmart Supercenter, convenient food mart, but usually Kroger's because that's within walking distance.
Oh, Steve Winkler came through for us, man.
The highest distinction. Okay, that's what I thought. High achievement. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what it is. It's just that's the way it's spelled. But somebody at Publix thought, oh man, that's profanity. We can't do that. Okay, this is from MSN.com. This is kind of cool. A 93-year-old Michigan woman battles fear of water by riding giant slide at her YMCA. Good for her at her YMCA. Excellent. Let's see here. Cascading down a giant slide into the YMCA pool in her neighborhood. Since her husband died, Lucy has made the gym and temperance her home away from home. She works out 3 times a week. Ooh, I wouldn't want to mess with her.
Good for her.
Good for her. That's awesome. Awesome. Nice. Stay in shape at any age, right? Of course.
Yep.
Also from MSM, an Ohio man calls police to report he's being followed by a pig. Sir, that's an awful thing to call your wife, but no. Shh, don't tell Tawny. Shh, just between me and you, Tim.
Boy.
It's a real pig, guys. I'm just kidding. Police officers in Ohio were convinced a man who called 911 about a pig following him was drunk and hallucinating, but turns out the caller was telling the truth and was very sober. North Ridgeville, I'm not sure where that is from here. Police officers received a call just before 5:30 a.m. Saturday from a man who said a pig was following him while he was walking home from the Amtrak station, Elyria, located about 30 miles west of Cleveland. The caller added, I don't know what to do. Have you tried running away, sir? Police officers were skeptical. Night shift responded to the obviously drunk guy walking home. Oh, they thought he was intoxicated. He was at least drunk enough to call the police, but the officer's theory was wrong. Not only was the man very sober and walking home from the train station, a pig was actually following him. Okay, there'll be sausages tonight. Yes, a pig. One of the officers managed to get the pig in the police cruiser and take it to the city dog's kennel. Well, I'm sure the dogs appreciated that.
Dogs really like that.
Yeah,
I like my room except for the pig next door.
Except for the pig. Yes. Anyway, the pig was returned to its owner. Okay, so everything was a family reunion. How nice.
So this was a privately owned pig.
Yes.
Scroll back up in that picture, Carmine.
Yeah.
Did that
Look at that pig just chilling out on the cruiser. Hey, what's up, man?
That thing looks like a boar to me.
It sure does. Yeah. Of course, maybe the color, the lighting might be off. I don't know. But hey, at least the pig is happily ever after. The police posted the picture of the pig on Facebook, which received more than 21,000 reactions, 11,500 shares, and 2,000 comments. I guess pigs and Facebook go together. What can I say?
Wow.
Okay, well, that's I like animals, so good for him.
He made it home.
Yes. This is from Autoblog. A British man builds the fastest shed in the world. I have to tell you, Tim, I always dreamed of a fast shed, maybe 8-cylinder, turbo boost, you know.
Yep.
Okay, before you say anything about the absurdity, of a motorized shed, take a look at it and squint your eyes. Does it look any different than an SUV? I don't know if that's the actual picture there, but you've heard of the tiny house movement. This one actually does move at a surprising speed. I don't think that's the actual picture of it. That looks more like a car. But somebody did build a shed. Don't ask me why. The problem, he says, that the problem he has, this person, is aerodynamics. No kidding, because I don't have any. Duh.
Because it's got 4 square corners.
Oh, here it is. Here's the picture. Here you can see that.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be winning any Bonneville Salt Flats trophies in that thing.
No, you're not. That gives a whole new meaning. Boy, I need to run to the bathroom. It's right there. It's in the shed. But anyway.
He could have driven that and parked it next to the guy's house that was growing the dope in his secret room.
See,
and it would have looked like the crap.
Right. Kind of like a rolling diaspora.
Good Lord. Why don't these British people talk to one another when they're doing foolish things?
I guess they like to remain private, which is why the one guy got caught stealing electricity. Duh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's move on. Spanish police find 8,000 pounds of stolen oranges. Well, I guess the guy was on a vitamin C diet. I don't know what this. How do you put 8,000 pounds what looks like a little Toyota?
Is there a black market for fruit?
I guess there is. 5 suspects were arrested in southern Spain after a traffic stop found vehicles. I guess there's more than one vehicle found. 8,000. I guess that's a hot commodity. I don't know. This kind of reminds me of the story where a thief stole 40,000 pounds of romaine lettuce, and the cops posted a tongue-in-cheek bulletin. They said, "Romaine, calm. We will find the thieves."
Oh boy.
Okay, that was their joke, not mine, by the way. Yes, Keegan says, "Aren't you glad it wasn't drugs?" But a bump bump. Okay, next one.
Oh boy.
Poop train. We seem to be running a theme tonight. Like I said, this show has gone down the crapper. What can I say? Well, it's been a while since I've done one of these. I'm a little rusty, you know. This is what happens when, well, never mind. Poop train carrying human waste was cleared after months squatting in Alabama town. Okay, parish population 982 became the butt of jokes. Get it? Butt of poop. Anyway, after complaining that the smell from the train was making the outdoors unbearable. Alabama's poop train is no longer raising a stink. Haha. The mayor of the tiny town posted on Facebook that the train cars carrying human waste from New York City, hey, watch your mouth, were finally emptied and cleared and should be removed soon. The question is, where did they put it? The cars were sitting idle for more than 2 months. Oh my God. Imagine 2 months of, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, the town of residents gained notoriety and became the butt of several jokes. Aha.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, mine.
Wait, Carmine, do you hear something?
Do I hear something?
Toilet flushing.
Ah, okay. Yes, it fits in with the themes of tonight's show. So yeah. Let's see here. Before the trains were emptied, about 10 million pounds of human waste. The landfill has been accepting biosolids. Oh, that's what you call your poop, biosolid, of course. You know, I cracked a joke years ago. Somebody called, "Hey, can I speak to so-and-so?" You can't because he's busy fertilizing the toilet. But a bump bump. Anyway. That was my joke anyway. All right. That was enough of that crappy story.
That really was a crappy story.
In the strictest sense, yeah. NPR.org. Overturned truck flips commuters, the bird, spilling 40,000 pounds of feathers. Yes, there's a picture. Yes, those are all chicken feathers. 40,000 pounds of feathers. A semi-truck lost them when it rolled over Wednesday on I-5 in Washington State.
Man, the boys at the pillow factory are going to be pissed at this one.
I know. God. Yes, all those chicken feathers, somebody truck lost them, okay. Not every story has to make for hard-hitting journalism. Haha. Sometimes a Wednesday even just calls for a fluff piece. Journalistic speak. Let's see. Let me read here real quick. 2,300 chickens worth of feathers. Okay, and there they are. Those are all the feathers. So I'm hoping that will soften up tonight's theme. Well, let's move along. We got that one. Let's go to this one. All right, fajita heist.
Fajita heist.
NBC News. Texas man sentenced 50 years for stealing $1.2 million worth of food fajitas. No, I like fajitas, but not that much. A Texas man who pled guilty to stealing more than 1.2 million fajitas while acting as a public servant.
Oh, okay. That explains it.
Right. He should have got an extra 50 years for excessive farting, but no. Gilbert Scamelli, 53, was employed anyway at Texas when it was a security. I've been placing orders for fajitas using county funds and then selling them for his own profit.
That's a big no-no.
Yeah, yeah.
How many
Uh,
license plates is that guy going to have to make to pay back 1.2 million bucks in fajitas?
I mean, yeah, that it certainly is an unusual. It's funny, but it's not funny in a way. But I guess he liked his fajitas. What can I love fajitas. Applebee's makes these fajitas, Tim. I don't know if you ever go there.
Yeah, we have
Um,
one pretty close to us.
yeah, sometimes I'll.
Chili's has good fajitas.
Right, yeah, we don't have a Chili's here. We have a Bennigan's coming in. I don't know if they make fajitas.
Bennigan's.
Yeah,
Ben,
Bennigan's.
Bennigan's has an awesome salad bar.
Oh, I'll have to check that out. But
Awesome
yeah,
salad.
Applebee's has it here. Anyway, sometimes I'll make them. I'll buy the tortilla, the round bread.
Hmm.
I'll chop up some chicken or some meat. Get some vegetables. I think it's cilantro. You need to chop that up.
Yep.
Maybe some. I was gonna say whipped cream. It's not whipped cream. It's sour cream, or whipped cream if you're drunk. Hey, But anyway, but
That's
yeah, I
only if a
love.
pig follows you home.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, you can just use the pig to make your fajita. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Keegan says that was a foul gesture. Ha ha. The train must have a loaded caboose. Okay. And Jeff says you'll make your own fajitas a lot. Yeah, it's if I ever can remember to buy all the ingredients. See, the key is the cilantro.
Yep.
To give it that taste. You can
Has
do
to
it
be
with the.
has to be fresh too.
Yeah, it has to be like you can smell it like a mile away, right? And
Yep.
you can do it without the cilantro, but it's not the same.
Not as good.
And you can probably bypass the sour cream or whatever, but you got to have that cilantro. Steve Gunnick had smoked pork loin today. Ooh. All right, that's unless you guys want to share a little bit of nonsense. That's all for the nonsense part. Steve says cilantro and lime. Lime, I probably don't need, Steve. Yeah, I can, but the cilantro, yeah,
It gives Toss a touch of gas.
yeah, just a touch. Yes.
Yep.
All right, let's get out of screen share, and hope you guys enjoyed the nonsense part. I'm looking at Linux today. Steve Winkler smoked some chicken today. Okay.
I actually
Let's.
went. We were doing some work, helping some friends out, and we were doing some work around their place. And we went down to a local establishment, and I had a hamburger that had, get this, it was a half pound burger. It had cheddar cheese,
Okay.
bacon,
Mm-hmm.
and peanut butter and jelly, grape jelly,
Wow.
and
Interesting.
it was actually very, very good.
Okay.
But it's one of those hamburgers. All of us know these types of hamburgers. One where you can take a bite of, set it down, and then do the French fries, and then drink a pop or whatever the case is, and then pick the hamburger up and redo it. This was one of those hamburgers that once you picked it up and started eating it, you were committed to eating it, because if you set it down, it would fall into a pile of goo. So it was really good. I was very, very
Nice.
surprised. I tried to get Super Wife to have a taste of it, but she was having none of it.
Okay. But see, when I was married, my wife used to say, "I don't like fishy fish." Not sure what that means. You either are having fish or you're not eating fish, but it couldn't be fishy fish.
Tawny does not eat any. She doesn't eat any fish. She has tried salmon a couple of times, and she didn't mind it once. It wasn't too bad, but it wasn't like she was ready to eat a half pound of it.
Hmm.
She just stays away from fish, and she doesn't like shellfish either.
Okay. Okay. I can just eat just about almost anything. I love calamari, of course, squid, saute, but in sauce it's okay also. But yeah, of course, lobster and all that. Yeah, as long as it doesn't have that pungent smell, I can definitely eat it. I'm scrolling through some other news items here.
Mujin this said, I heard of kids in New York City that did not even know where milk came from. It was back in the 70s. How old were you when you found out where milk came from, Toss?
Um, I don't know, but I knew it back in the 70s. I was a kid, but I knew.
I didn't find out until I was about 42 that chocolate milk did not, in fact, come from brown cows. I was disappointed.
Oh, poor baby. Let me see here. Just scrolling through some news items. Battlefield 5 boss defense female characters. Oh, you're going to have female characters in Battle G. They're moving on up in the world. Let's see here. World War Z drops a new trailer. Exciting stuff. Um, Interesting title for a blog here, a news item. In 2018, Windows died at home and nobody cared.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that about sums up my thoughts.
Yeah, for a lot of people, it went out a long time ago, and a lot of people are just using Linux or whatever. Um, I still use it occasionally, not as much because I don't have to use Windows that much. Linux, for the most part, does what it's supposed to. Let's see here. Nothing really there. Let's go on. Let's see here. Go another website.
Excuse me.
Let's see. Doctor slammed by MedBoard for selling $5 homeopathic sound waves for Ebola. I don't know what that means exactly, but okay.
Trying to kill Ebola with sound waves?
Doctor slammed by patients who were downloading audio files of the e-remedies on doctor's website. I guess so. Sounds like a ripoff to me, yeah. Dinosaur killing impact plus volcanoes kept the earth hot for 100,000 years. Interesting. What else do we have here? Google zooms by Amazon in smart speaker shipments. Really? That does surprise me. Well, I guess we can wait for Google to mess up and send out a message, private message when it's not supposed to, or a private conversation. What else do we have here? Comcast may soon control what you pay to watch your favorite sports teams. I'm not sure I like that either.
Doesn't that have something to do with Comcast buying the rights to the different leagues, the major leagues?
It could be. I'm not sure how all, buying the rights and yeah, something like that. Everybody wants a piece of the pie.
Yep.
I suppose. Look, I know what my dad's going through, so it's complicated stuff. So
sports viewership, this seems to be down. Now, I'm not a real fan of football. I'll start to watch it about the time the playoffs hit, and then I'll watch the Super Bowl. I watch a little bit of baseball. I watch some soccer, but I'm a big motorsports fan.
Oh, okay.
And today was kind of like the Mecca day of motorsports. There was a Formula One race in Monaco, France. The place was just packed, like sardines.
Yeah. Okay.
Then I watched the Indianapolis 500.
Mm-hmm.
It was the hottest Indianapolis 500 since 1937.
Wow.
And the place was still jam-packed with 300,000 people. Now tonight, NASCAR is on, I think, Fox or something like that, and it's one of the bigger races of the year for the NASCAR guys, and there are empty seats in the stands.
Interesting.
It just seems strange to me that some of these, whether it be baseball or football, I think football is a little bit better, but some of the baseball games that you see on TV, it looks like there's, 15,000 people can fit in the stadium, and there's maybe 2,000 there.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing the teams are probably wanting more money, and if they
Could
want
be.
more money, that means that they know that more people are sitting at home watching it on TV, or they're listening to it on the radio. So
I tend to watch more sports, football in the wintertime when it's too cold to go outside. It's bitter. You want to stay inside and
yep,
watch football. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, and I watch general football. But in the summertime, like I'm a New York Yankees fan, I don't know if they're doing good or bad. I just summertime when I want to get out, especially when it's not raining. So let me go back to the comments section here. Steve Winkler, it's called Lucky Monks. It sounds like a cigarette. Steve Gunick says, accept Windows on Mondays. Right. What did somebody call it? Microsoft Mondays? Sure. Or Windows Wednesday. See what else we have here. Jeff Pearson, you're doing battle with Windows today. Sorta. Try a spray bottle with vinegar. Oh, not that kind of window. Sorry. Alexa's a bad girl. Yeah. Windows is like a tug of war sometimes. Alexa's a tattletale. Mugen, you was a Prairie Home Companion fan. That was a podcast, I
it
think.
was Garrison Keeler, wasn't it?
I don't know. Mugen, right? Wasn't that a weekly podcast, Prairie Home Companion? I think. I'm not sure. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I think so. That rings a bell. I'm thinking of Little House on the Prairie, but that was a TV series back in the 70s, I think. Prairie Home Companion rings a bell. I don't think it's on anymore, right?
No, I think that's
Yeah.
I think that's Garrison Keeler. Wasn't he a big? He was big on NPR and stuff like that. I
I'll
believe
let
he's
somebody
out.
look it up.
Yeah. I believe Garrison Keeler is out of a job now because of some accusations, which unfortunate.
Boy, it never ends, does it? It never ends. It's kind of sad, you know. What's going on? NPR Mugen. Okay, all right. I thought that's where I heard about it. Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Go to some other stuff. So what's everybody's plans for the holiday for tomorrow? If you celebrate that kind of a holiday here in the States. Let's see. It's like an article here on Linux apps for Chrome OS. That was covered already. That should be interesting. Hi, Kyrie. Welcome to the stream. How are you? Again, if you missed any of this, you can replay the live, the recorded video. Like I said, I'll probably upload this, transcode this into a podcast, put it on the archive.org website if you want to take it on a road with you. How to speak Linux. Let's see what this article is about. This is from Network World. We might all agree on the command line, but start talking about Linux and we might find the rules of how to pronounce the names of Unix commands are not universal. Never really thought about it. Let's see here.
I see Dell just released an update to their line of Ubuntu laptops, and I saw
They've
that
been doing well, yeah.
they have been. But here's the thing: I don't quite get. I think the price on those machines start out at. I don't know if don't roast me if I'm wrong, but I think the price on those starts somewhere in the $800 or $900.
That seems a little high for a Linux machine, but that depends. Yeah,
that seems really, really high.
it depends on the specs, but that does seem high. Yeah. Hello, EB. English Bob is in the house. Sir, you are welcome to join the stream if you wish. You never join my stream. You join everybody else's stream, but Toss comes on. No.
Well, what time is it right now? Where
I know it's a little late, but he's a night owl, right?
What's he got? He's got 5 hours on you, right?
Something like that. EB's a night owl.
Yeah, doesn't he get up at like 3 o'clock in the morning just for giggles.
Well, or yeah, he does trucking games at, I don't know, 3 in the morning. Yeah.
That's because there aren't so many people on the road. We got it. Now we got her figured out.
Daniel, yeah, speak Linux. Daniel says sudo apt-get remove Alexa. I like Alexa. What can I say? I unplug it during the day, then I plug it in at night, catch up on the news at night, or fall asleep to rainstorm sounds and music. Look, it was $30 at Christmas time. It's a good deal, putting aside the privacy. But see, one of these days, I'm gonna say stuff and see if the powers that be, like the NSA, is listening. You know, stuff I can't say here in public, just to see if I get a knock on the door. Sir, can we speak to you? I don't speak English, man. I don't know what you say. I don't know nothing, man. Okay? No, I just have my tacos here. I got a few ludes. You want some ludes? Oh, I can't do that. Okay, goodbye.
Yeah, no, they're gonna check you to make sure you don't have any fajitas in your hall closet.
I know. That's where I had my ludes.
Steve Gunnix has said he made a good point. A good point where you have to read it. If Google can get away with selling $1,000 plus Chromebooks,
Yeah.
Dell can get away with an $800 laptop. Now, I believe that is very, very true. But I think, forgive me if I'm wrong, I think the Chromebook line, there's only one model that is up in that price range. I may be wrong.
Pixel line, I think.
Yeah, the Pixel or something like that. But most
super high resolution screen or whatever. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Aluminum chassis, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just think that most of the Chromebooks are like sub $400.
Yeah.
Majority of them.
They actually start at $200 or less, even. You know, not for a high-end model, but if all you want to do is get on the web,
yep,
that's all you need. And I think they're instant on. I believe some of those you just open the hood, or the screen, and it just comes on. And that's what they're made for. That's why, and it is a form of Linux, but they're priced right. That's why. Look, if those Chromebooks started at $1,000, they're not going to sell, but they start at $200, sometimes even less.
I was looking at Micro Center. I was on their webpage looking for some stuff, and I always look at like the clearance or the refurb type thing. Mm-hmm. And they had, I forgot how big they were. I think they were 11 or 13 inch.
Yeah.
Refurbished Samsung Chromebooks.
Yes.
$179.
Nothing wrong with that. No. DT, if you want to join the stream, you're more than welcome to. Like I said, my day is done. Tomorrow is my son's graduation party, so I'm just chilling out for this evening. I finished the news and nonsense portion of this, but you can watch this later if you want to, like before. Like I said, I may transcode this into an MP3 file and upload it to archive.org for the people who like to listen to stuff on the road. I do, especially in the summertime when the weather's nice, going for a walk or go jogging or doing some work outside. I like to listen to stuff with the headphones on, catch up on the news and podcast stuff like that. Especially the Linux Mintcast, the podcast. Those are like an hour and a half or more. Not really designed for newbies, but something like that. Something on the road, like from driving to Pittsburgh or something, catch up. Or even the Ubuntu podcast, which is about 30 minutes long. Listen to it on the road. So, Mugen, you like the corporate refurbs. I bought ThinkPads refurbished. They're still going strong. Even the one that had originally Windows XP, less than a gig of RAM, I put Peppermint OS on it, and I was able to stream with that. That is the power of Linux. Sometimes it works just fine. All right, where was I here? Dreaming Wolf. Are you new to the stream, Dreaming Wolf? If you are, welcome. We have a custom here on the show. Anybody new, please say hello to Dreaming Wolf. And if you're not new, welcome anyway.
Hello, Dreaming Wolf.
Great name, Dreaming Wolf. Sounds like a movie, like Dances with Wolves. Those of us that drive real semis also find podcasts a wonderful way to pass the miles. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Dreaming Wolf. So, yeah, when I check tomorrow, I'll have in fact, let me go post a link for the podcast. You are new. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the stream, and happy holiday weekend. let me see if I have the link here for the podcast for the audio files on archive.org. Give me a second here, so if I can find it. I should have had all of this ready, but
Here's
I
some
wasn't
Linux.
sure. Yeah, go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. Here's
No,
some
go ahead.
Linux news that is rather impactful, I believe. Someone pledged $1 million to the GNOME Foundation anonymously. An anonymous entity just pledged to donate $1 million to the GNOME Foundation over the next 2 years. In case you weren't aware, GNOME Foundation is a nonprofit organization behind the popular GNOME desktop environment and its associated suite of applications. The project was started in 1997 by two then university students with the aim to produce a free desktop environment.
Nice. Steve Gunix, I'll be downtown Manhattan next month for a week. Any foodie spot? I haven't been back in New York in years. I lived in Florida almost 10 years, Steve. But you know what? The people there, if you're out of town, you ask, they are more than willing to tell you, more than friendly to tell you where to go. That should not be a problem at all, Steve. Yeah, I've been there in years, so I can't really say anything. But yeah, trust me, New Yorkers, when they say, hey, where to eat, trust me, they know where to eat. Okay, all right, let me post this link for some free audio downloads. And for all you truckers out there. Okay, that's archive.org. Anyway, there's the link. It's Total OS Today live on archive.org. And you can search TOS Today, Total OS Today, stuff like that. But those are the latest ones for this year, and they're free down. I think I posted a few video ones, but there should be a few audio ones. Again, those are free. So, Dreamwolf run a regional line haul twice a week from Milwaukee to Pittsburgh. I'm about 30 minutes away from Pittsburgh. Okay. Yeah, I'm actually not too far from the Pittsburgh airport, about 20 minutes away, Dreaming Wolves. But anyway, welcome to the show. Awesome. See, this is why I do these shows at different times, to try to catch people like yourselves, Dreaming Wolf, who want to say hello and never get a chance. And that's why I'm still doing this. About 3 years ago, 2015, there was a point where I had stopped or slowed down doing this because the AdSense revenue had dropped and it was getting discouraging. I didn't do much back then, but news and nonsense, people wanted more of that and everything. And anyway, I am here to stay, hopefully. So you are welcome, Dreaming Wolf.
Are the truckers in the audience, are they on the road right now, or are you guys at home for the long weekend?
I was going to say don't, but you're not really texting on the road. You're listening on the road, so that's fine. Yes, you have my permission to listen to the show on the road. Not a problem. I'm not close to Mercer, PA, if that's what you're trying to say. I'm close to the airport, a place called the Robinson Township Mall. I'm fairly close to, about 30 minutes away, if that helps anybody.
You better give a shout out to Mr. Winkler.
Steve Winkler says, I don't know if you called my earlier, but I did my first Linux video. Oh, awesome. On customizing Peppermint. Nice. Okay.
Awesome.
Nice. Yeah, Linux is highly customizable. DistroTube, I toot and drive sometimes.
Yeah.
Don't we all? All right, DT, now I got to put you on the show. Here we go. Hang on. Don't we all? Oh, especially in the car. I mean, when I'm by myself, I don't care. Now, now since I bought, if it's one of those days where I'm heavily tooting in the car, I bought a new electric leaf blower. I can just blow that out, man. Open up all the doors. There we go. It's all done. So
I need to bring one of those to bed with me at night.
See, a blower is a multi-purpose anti-flatulence tool. You
know what? I have to say it again. You learn more here by accident than anywhere else.
I know. All right. Link coming for you, DT. Check out DistroTube's channel. Home of the unstable OS reviews. Subtypes.
Yeah, didn't he just say, yeah, Manjaro locked up on him?
Yeah. Well, there you go. See, and he proved it. Uh, Toot is the tweet of Mastodon. Yes. I think I'm going to join diaspora, whatever the heck it's called. DT, give it a shot. Go from there. Even though it sounds like a bathroom thing, but you know. Dreaming Wolf, you actually drop and hook in Irwin, the opposite side of Pittsburgh. Okay, I've heard of Irwin. Yeah, PA. Yeah, the Robinson Mall is pretty nice. It's not too far from here. I've been to South Hills Village Mall. You may have heard of that. Dreaming Wolf, beautiful mall. That's where the closest Apple store is. Boy, they are busy on the weekend. They are packed. There's only 2 stores, Apple stores in Pittsburgh, which isn't a lot. Maybe that's why it's packed. But yeah, took one of my friends there. She had to get her MacBook serviced. But yeah,
About the only Apple store that I think we have, the most predominant one is at the Mall of America.
Okay, that's a big one.
Yep. Yeah, it is. It is big. It's.
Yeah.
I would guess that the storefront is probably 150 feet wide, and it's got to be at least that deep.
Wow.
So it's pretty good size.
Thank you, Stephen Anderson. He says you love the channel. Well, I love doing this. Thank you. Dreaming Wolf, don't use Apple products. Only use tech you can tinker with. Fair enough. That would be Android and different versions of Linux, right? Yeah.
Did we ask Dreaming Wolf what OS he's?
Well, it's not Apple. It's not Mac. What do you use, Dreaming Wolf? I've been with Linux since 2006. It was in a book. It said Popular Science or something. Are you tired of Windows XP? Try Ubuntu. And of course, my New York attitude said, "What the frack is Ubuntu?" Anyway, I'm out of focus. Oh. DT is in the house. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
What are you doing, Runner Manjaro, from the command line tonight?
Well, I had just finished a stream, and when I closed OBS was actually when I joined your stream, and I don't know if that caused me some problems with OBS. No, OBS can be kind of buggy. It might have been OBS actually caused
maybe.
me a problem.
Maybe, yeah. Haven't had issues with OBS lately.
I closed OBS, and then all of a sudden I couldn't open up anything else. So I'm in a
What's
Italian
Manjaro,
window.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a rolling release, so you just have to deal with that sometimes with the rolling releases.
Well, a quick reboot, everything's fine, but OBS has never been the most stable program.
I don't use it as much now because of Google Hangouts, but when I do use it in Windows and Linux, it seems to be okay. But see, I don't use it all the time, so
I know I've had it crash on me twice live streaming, and even doing Big Daddy's podcast. I've seen him have it crash on him 2 or 3 times doing his show. So it happens.
DT, we were talking, you missed it, but we were talking, there was a news article about how many times human beings pass gas a day. There was a scientific research done.
Yeah.
And average is 14, which I thought seemed like a lot, but I cracked the joke. That's why I can't get a date no more. But no, Keegan says, I want to invent a seat that recirculates the methane gas into the engine to give it an instant boost.
Yeah.
That would make Taco Bell stock go through the roof. You could...
Yeah. But there have been a lot of studies on this actually talking about the gas that humans pass, but also farm animals, because of the just hundreds of millions of farm animals we have, cows and pigs and everything. And all that methane, of course, that's created contributes to global warming.
Yes.
I mean, how much does humans and our mass farming affect climate change?
Right.
It might affect it some.
Well, it's like that crazy story years ago with the extinction of the dinosaurs may have been caused by methane gas, dinosaurs farting too much. Dreaming Wolf says, OS depends on the day. Ubuntu Mate. The smart one in the house. Voyager GS. Okay, I've looked at that. And Peppermint. Nice. Awesome. Sometimes on there multiple hops yesterday. Really? You and DT should get together and maybe start your own multiple hopping channel.
I don't usually multiple hop in a day. I've only done that once
That's a lot.
recently
Yeah.
where I installed something and right away I knew it wasn't going to work out for me the way I wanted to, and I hopped to something else that same day. But that's
I
not
think
normal.
I may have
Usually-
done that once, but yeah.
Usually I
it's-
give it a week at least before.
Yeah. Yeah. Stephen Anderson says, "Thank you for putting up with me. Thank you for putting up with me and us. Thank you." But I think I may have in the past when I destro hop maybe tested 2 in one day, but not a full install. You know, maybe in a virtual box or something. But that's a lot if you're doing multiple in a day. You know, ideally to properly test a distro, I mean a full review. And when I say a full review, 30 minutes to an hour. If someone can stick around, you really should do a full install. And in the past, I've had many comments. Well, how can you call this a full review if you didn't do a full install test on real hardware?
Right.
That's a valid point. It's just that USB sticks and virtual machines are more convenient.
Well, you run into the problem. I mean, do you do a real install on physical hardware? Do you run it off a live USB key? A lot of people run distros off live USB keys. You might want to test it in that. And you know what? Increasingly, a lot more people are running VMs.
Yes.
You need to check, does it work in a VM? I mean,
Yes,
or do
right.
you do all three? I mean,
Right. Yeah, no,
So,
chances are if it works in a VM, it'll work in real hardware,
You would
usually.
think, yeah.
Yeah, you would think. Kyrie says you have a poop factory down the street from the house. Does it smell a lot? I don't know. California taxes bovine farts. Really? Interesting. Okay. I don't know. I've been to California. It's nice. Keegan, I'm doing my part to help the environment, but I can't eat all the cows by myself. Okay. Try peppermint on your better computer. Keeping it on a low-end computer is only part of what this nice usually. Yeah, I got it on my low-end computer, my older ThinkPad that had Windows XP, and peppermint rocks. It just does.
Yeah, it's solid.
Yeah.
I can
I might
understand why EB
yeah.
loves it. I mean,
It's fast. I might replace my Linux Mint, dare I say Linux Mint Mate with peppermint on my other machine because it feels faster.
Mhm.
You know, and it's highly customizable too.
you know, I like the minimal. I like speed. I like fast. I don't like bloat. Peppermint is so nice. I mean,
Well,
in that regard, it's just
Yeah, it's with Linux, I follow, and I said this, but I follow the 3S. I have the 3S rule for Linux. Number one, it has to be stable, because if it ain't stable, nothing else matters. Number two, I want it fast. Number three, special looks. If you get the first two rocking, the theme and customization, that'll come down the line. Usually, theming doesn't break a system. Not that I tend to recall. I suppose it's possible. But theming and colors and special looks fonts usually doesn't break a system, usually. That's why if you can get the stability down, the speed down, the customization can come later to add more, stuff to it. Daniel asks, so the ThinkPad's 32, 64-bit? Both.
yeah.
The Peppermint OS is 32-bit, and one of my ThinkPads, I believe, is 64-bit, if I am not mistaken. So I have both, and I bought those refurbs, and Amazon's got a ton of decent machines, but ThinkPads for refurbs that you can. Speaking for myself, years of testing, you can safely install Linux on it. And don't spend more than $250.
Not on
Yeah.
not on an old ThinkPad. I mean, these things,
Yeah.
I see them around. You can pay $150 and get like a ThinkPad that's 7, 8 years old and a Core 2, maybe whatever the processor is.
That's plenty.
Those things run pretty much any Linux distro you want, so you're fine with that.
Yeah, try to get something with 4 gigs of RAM if you can. It's not required, and you can add the RAM later. But if you don't know what you're doing, like you don't know what a RAM chip is or how to install it, get a 4 gig machine, it's Core Duo, and trust me, I got 2 of my machines that have metal hinges, for the screen. And I'm telling you, they just feel, now the rest of it's plastic, just feels solid. But ThinkPads rock. So check out ThinkPads to test Linux. And I'm sure there are some other decent machines out there, but I'm just speaking from experience.
Well, speaking, I always tell you when you start talking about ThinkPads, I really like the Toshiba satellites.
I have that too, yes.
You can find a lot of those refurbished, again, under $200. and all of those same thing. They just work. They run Linux fine. So
Well, last night I jumped on Big Daddy's and Alan Pope was on from Ubuntu. I asked him, how many ThinkPads do you have? Because I got, well, 4. One's kind of cracked. He went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I thought he had them hanging off the ceiling, 4, 5. He had 8, starting a collection. Wow.
yeah, that's strange to have that many machines because as much distro testing as I do, I wouldn't mind having a few extra machines. But when he said he had 8 laptops, all the same brand, what are you doing with all those machines?
I think he's starting the museum there in the UK. I'm not sure. Hello, Scott. Welcome tonight. Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, after a while, it just gets too much. It just gets too much.
I wonder if he picks up one of his ThinkPads and forgets which one it is. What is this running? Does he have the label on? I bet he does.
He's got to get a marker or so, or label, right?
You would think, yeah.
Yeah. At some point, I mean, I got I got 2 smartphones. I keep one as a backup, multiple computers, got multiple monitor TVs, but of course, I told you 2 of my monitors kind of broke, went bad on me. But after a while, it just gets, I got 3 tablets. It just gets too much, Dreaming Wolf says, today was coming off Voyager. I've looked at Voyager in the past. That's French, I think, or French distribution. Voyager because updates caused a few glitches. Tried Ubuntu Budgie, but X kept crashing when I went to open settings. Ended up with Mate. Mate is awesome. Yeah.
I took a look at Voyager a couple of days ago. Actually, yeah, it's French distro. It actually looks great. Actually, out of the box, it's an attractive distro. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look at. I think it's called eLive OS, which has the Enlightenment desktop.
Yeah.
And that'll run like Ubuntu with 256 megabytes of RAM. I may take a look at that. Kyrie Holmes, you have a 2001 Think Center running Mate 2001. That's older than mine. Wow. Well, ThinkPads are solid. Plan to stay here a while unless Calculate or Arch start calling too loud in your ear. I don't think I'll be using.
Yeah.
I may test Arco Linux, which is based on Arch, just because the name reminds me of the old company.
I was actually just replying to him about that comment as far as Calculate. Calculate Gen 2 base, they're a little tougher to maintain. You can have some major breakages, as EB recently found out. And I've experienced it. That's why I only ran it for about a week, is because I had Xorg break on me, similar to what EB had on his stream the other day when he went on that very loud cursing rampage.
Daniel says, a laptop that doubles as a weapon. Some of those ThinkPads, I would have to agree. They're just solid machines.
I mean, because they were solid metal instead of like all this carbon fiber.
Yes. I think one of mine has a solid metal cover top on the screen. Yeah, that's in addition to the metal hinges.
Of course, the question with the metal is, heat dissipation. I mean, does it get warm?
That's a reasonable assumption. I haven't noticed it. Of course, I don't use them all the time, so hey, Metal Lord, welcome. Scott, being IT field, you accumulate tons of crap. Good stuff. Actually went through all of it this afternoon and trashed it in the dumpster. Oh, okay. Yeah. Interesting. Well, they say you should recycle those parts because of the environment. eLive is a paid distro? I don't think so, Horace.
I've had people tell me that in my stream, people were recommending eLive, and one guy said he thinks it's pay only, but I'm not sure.
No, I looked at it today. You can donate, but I don't think you have to pay, at least from what I saw briefly today.
Another viewer mentioned that he thought that you had to wait 3 days for the download. Like they email you after 3 days and give you the link, so you can't get it right away, or something weird about it. Yeah.
Don't know about that, yeah. Arco is nice, okay. I've run it from time to time for the last year, having done real Gen 2 installs back in the day. Calculate is a breeze, really. Wow, okay.
It's a breeze to install, yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Sub-Zero has an HP ProBook too. Sony Vios. I don't know too much about the Sonys, yeah.
Yeah, I've never owned one.
Yeah. HP I've had good luck with. Good. Gateway, of course, my Lenovo, and this is just a dual core, and it runs fine. So it's just solid with Linux, You can run it live for free for a full install is paid. They were crowdfunding to make it free, but I don't know how that went. Okay, Horace, I don't know. I'll have to check into that. I just looked at it because it's lightweight, you know. But if you're looking for machine deals on Amazon, I would start with ThinkPads and go from there. Like I said, $200, $250 tops. Don't go any higher than that, unless it's a steal of a machine. All right, Tim. I guess Tim keeps dropping off, huh? I don't
Probably
know.
connection issues. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, he was. We did a news and nonsense straight for like 20 minutes. He stayed on. I don't know. Maybe like another storm is coming in.
Yeah, it could be.
So what machine do you have as a backup detail? Well, like what machines do you use primarily for this YouTube channel?
Well, I have this machine over here. It's 4 years old. It was custom built. It's a AMD FX 6300, so that's their 6-core FX processor from about 4 years ago. Pretty good
Okay.
processor at the time, anyway. Then it's got an NVIDIA 1060 graphics card that I just
Okay.
purchased. 16 gigs of RAM because I do everything in VMs. You need a ton of
Right.
RAM to,
Yeah.
especially if you run more than one VM at a time. Sometimes
Yes.
I do that.
That's a lot
You
of
really
RAM
need to-
hog.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So you edit videos. You use primarily Kden Live.
yeah. Caden
So
Live.
so to
Sometimes
edit. Yeah. Go ahead.
Sometimes I use Fmpeg. Sometimes I can do it. If it's simple, you can use the command line. But if you're like really editing a lot of different MP4s, maybe sometimes MP3s as well, especially you doing audio editing, Kden Live makes all that stuff a lot simpler.
So if you want to edit, say, an hour video or 40 minutes, how long does it take in Kden Live to edit that?
With this machine using
Yeah.
all 6 cores, because I let Kden Live use all 6 cores, an hour video would take maybe an hour 15 to an hour and a half.
Oh, really?
It's not,
Still?
It's not.
Oh.
It's not too. I mean, it's not super fast, but I don't often make hour-long videos.
Okay.
Typically, my average video length is 20 to 30 minutes, and that stuff, 30, 40 minutes, it's done. So pretty
Okay.
quick time,
Okay. All right.
Like I can step away, go grab a bite to eat, come back, and it's rendered.
Right. Interesting. My next machine, whatever I'm going to buy, I want it to render faster. Like if I have a 30-minute video to render, I want to render it in 15 minutes. I want it to go faster.
Yeah, but
than the actual. Yeah.
you're gonna need like a Ryzen. You may need something like a Threadripper. I mean, you're gonna have to drop some serious cash on a CPU that can render a 30-minute video in like 10, 15 minutes.
I was thinking about $1,000
Yeah,
probably.
probably, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for because I've been doing it with older machines and like for example, like a 35-minute video takes over an hour.
Yeah.
That's too slow for me, especially after 2,000 videos. But
What I was thinking is
Yeah,
just having a dedicated machine just to render video.
right, yeah. But I look at the specs and go from there. Like, buy a machine that's specially made or maybe custom built one for multimedia apps. Totally agree. Hello, Mark Yates. Let's see. Mark Yates, a 9-minute video takes an hour plus to render? Really? On Oscar. What's Oscar?
I'm assuming he named his computer Oscar, which is interesting that he didn't name it after a girl. I name all my machine girl names.
Okay, I don't have any names for my machines. But he got it done, though. Okay.
Wait a second. You name your computers?
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten around to that yet.
It's like naming vehicles. You never name that old pickup truck, a name, a girl's name, or whatever you happen to drive.
No, I knew.
I guess it's a
Oh.
southern thing, yeah. Mark Yates is a southerner too, so that would make sense.
I mean, when I needed work done, I've spoken to the car and called it a name.
That's a different name.
That's a yeah. Steve Winkler used Flowblade for your 20-minute video. Took 15 minutes. Flowblade, I think I've looked at. I can't remember though. Okay. Yeah, I want to get a machine with like, say if it's like a 30-minute video, I want it done in 15 minutes. I want it ready to go.
And other than obviously the CPU matters a lot. Also, graphics card's going to matter. You using NVIDIA, if you're using NVIDIA or using NVENC, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you look at a processor, you have to get probably at least a 3.0 gigahertz, maybe a 4.0.
Yeah, the better the CPU. You know, that's the big thing. You need
Right,
really, you know.
right. Um, people name boats, Daniel. That's true. So why not name a car? Okay. Jeff, you just got a video card for $600 plus. Woo.
Wow.
Okay. That's a lot.
Well, if he was buying here in the U.S. NVIDIA range, that must be like a 1070. I'm assuming.
I don't know.
It's high end. Yeah.
Right.
I would love to get one, but that's a down payment on a car. I need to get it.
Daniel says computer's name is Twisted Sister. I don't know what I would call my machines. Something to rhyme with mate. I don't know. I never really thought about it, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
It isn't like I wake up in the morning, hi honey, I'm ready to render for me out of.
Yeah, but you talk to Alexa. I mean, you can talk to.
But it was specifically, but it was designed, or Cortana in Windows 10. That's true. But you're talking, well, yeah, I suppose. Steve has an 8-core processor, 16 gigs of RAM, NVIDIA 730. Okay. The poor Tim keeps dropping off, man. Maybe he should treat his computer nicely, buy it flowers, whisper sweet nothings in his ear so he stays on and not dropping off. I don't know.
You know what? Sometimes you just need to hop.
I guess I should ask him if there's a storm coming by or whatever. Maybe he needs to reset his router.
Yeah, it could be.
That could be it.
A reboot sometimes just fixes the problem.
Toss like slap toss like the back of the car trunk. I don't name him that name. Those names. Tim, what's going on, man? You keep dropping off.
Same thing that was happening the other night, brother.
Oh man.
I can really only deduce that this is a Chrome/Chromium issue. So
which distro now you're running? Popo?
Yeah, I threw Pop OS
1804
on today, and it was working fine when it was just you and I.
Right.
And as soon as Derek jumped on, it keeps telling me that the page is unresponsive and asking me if I want to kill it or wait. So I'm thinking I just need to go over to Firefox.
Did you try rebooting the router or the modem or whatever?
I did that the other night, and it didn't help. But you know what? I'm gonna try to reboot my. I'm gonna try to reboot it after I get off this.
Yeah, I reboot my Comcast modem at least once a month, and that seems to help. It really does. Yeah.
And Hangouts won't work on Firefox, so you have to use Chrome.
Oh, that's right.
Chrome or Chromium, I believe. Yes, I believe.
I wonder if something like Vivaldi would work. I've never used it.
I haven't tried it. I guess anything based on Chromium or Chrome will probably work. I don't know.
I'll have to give it. Yeah, and this thing's it's gonna crap out again on me here. So instead of jumping on and off and disturbing you guys, I'm gonna take off.
Not a problem.
See if I can figure this out.
Okay.
You guys have a very, very happy Memorial Day tomorrow.
You too, Tim.
And all you folks in the chat, if you have a second to remember the veterans, that'd be great.
Absolutely. Before you go, Tim, I just got to ask a question.
Yes, sir.
Ribs or brisket?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to decide.
We're talking pork. We're talking pork, right?
Or absolutely. Pork ribs. Yeah, they're the best.
Ribs? Oh, yeah.
I would do ribs.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Do ribs. Brisket, you can go a lot of different places. You can get brisket nowadays, especially in your neck of the woods. But if you're doing it at home, right?
Yeah.
You know what? There's nothing better than homemade ribs. There's a lot of good places out there to buy ribs nowadays, but doing them at home, doing them on the grill, doing them slow.
Oh, yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Slow cook them.
Yeah.
Where they're falling off the bone.
There you go.
Melts.
Man.
Well, tomorrow from my son's graduation, we're having, his mom's taking care of it. Pasta primavera, chicken romano, green beans, salad. My mom made, my aunt, one of my cousins made homemade cookies. So there goes the diet tomorrow.
You guys have a happy Memorial Day, and everybody out in the chat.
Take care, Tim. I'll catch you next time. Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can get this figured out. Take care, guys.
All right.
Sounds good. Okay, Tim. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Let's see. When it comes to Linux, one does not work. Try another one. Absolutely. Sometimes it's just faster just to hop on another system
No.
versus spending minutes, hours trying to figure something out. But yeah, like I said, I've had pretty good luck with Ubuntu Mate. Peppermint, I think I might install that in my second machine. It's just, I really love Peppermint. It's fast and nice. It's nice looking. Your electric system wouldn't be able to run a desktop at the moment. What's going on, Jeff?
Not exactly sure. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know about that.
Because your computer doesn't draw that much power. If you can't run a desktop, you're really not running anything in your house. I mean, that's very strange. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Horace mentions I should have started the brisket by now. I should. I should go throw it on.
Do you guys down south? They did it in Pittsburgh once when I moved back from Florida. It caught me by surprise. Do you like roast meat or roast pig or animal underneath the ground?
Sometimes. It's not something you do all the time because it's very expensive to buy a whole hog.
Okay.
And, at least for big parties, though, yeah, you can cook them in the ground. You dig a big pit.
Yeah.
And you start your fire in the pit, and then you put the hog.
Yeah. That's what it was
and
years
it cooks
ago.
For forever. Yeah. I mean, you get a good low fire going, and then you invite 100 people, because it's going to take a lot of people.
I remember it being a big party. That I remember, yeah. But it caught me by surprise because obviously in New York you couldn't plant it in the concrete and cook it,
Right.
But
I've only been to, I don't know, 3 or 4 of those kind of shindigs before, but it's great. I mean, just
if I recall, it tasted okay. If I recall,
it's fantastic.
It just caught me by surprise. But yeah.
It's basically all the good parts of the pig plus all the bad parts. I mean, you can choose what you want.
Food's food, I guess. Yeah.
The skin is great.
Yeah, you're probably not going to see an Italian do that. Yeah, not going to.
You guys love pork, though. Ham, salami, capicola. I mean, I've seen what you guys.
Yeah, no, it's we have something called supersat, like super sausage.
I mean, pepperoni. What is that? I mean, it is just grease.
I know.
I love it.
Salami. It's all good, man. It's all good though. You've had it, so yeah. It's not something I would eat 3 times a day. Because then the doctor may say, "What's the matter with you?" Right?
Yeah.
Mugen says to serve man. Yeah, that was a Twilight Zone thing. Yeah, to serve man. Yeah, I won't give it away. Watch the episode. It was a good one. Only thing left is the squeal. Okay. Keegan, you've only been to a roast pig once, whole roast pig once in northern Indiana. Oh, okay. Try WaterFox. Try disabling ad pop-up blocker. Okay.
I thought I had it figured out, but to no accord.
Really?
Yeah, I shut off the hardware acceleration in Chrome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that still didn't do it.
And it happens both in Chrome and Chromium.
Yep, both ones. Both of them.
Because I'm running Chromium now and don't have any issues. I would try resetting your modem.
I'm gonna try doing that, guys.
I will not be surprised. No, that's jump on it, but I would not be surprised if that fixes it, Tim. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me on. I'm gonna go shoot this. You guys have a good one now.
Okay, man. Yeah.
Take care, Derek.
We'll see you, Tim.
Carnivore diet. Your doctor will yell at you even though you'll keep getting healthier. Okay. Yeah, Jeff. Yeah, to serve man, a great Twilight episode. Absolutely. Twilight Zone. Absolutely. Yeah. So, are you going to stick with Manjaro, DT, or?
That's kind of been my plan. I made the decision about 3-4 weeks ago where I was done hopping. As long as it's working, I'm going to stay with it. And Manjaro's always worked for me. I ran it for 3 months straight a while back.
Yeah.
And then I started hopping, and I had a perfectly working system. And I started hopping, and then I hopped for a while, and it got to the point. You know what? Manjaro was working for me before. I'm going to go back to it. So. As long as it's working,
Yeah.
I'm going to stay with it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I can't. I'm not gonna go with rolling releases as my daily driver. I've had better luck with the non-rolling releases, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with that. It's just what works for me. You
Yeah.
know. I mean, I'll test other types like Arco Linux, but not as a daily driver. I'm not gonna do it. Yeah. Once it's fixed, once it's not broken, don't fix it. Right. Yeah.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Now, I
Um,
was always kind of a stable distro kind of person before starting
Mhm.
my channel, but now because of some of what I do, a lot of
Right.
the apps I want to review, especially if they're like brand new, newer stuff, Debian Stable's not going to have them. That's what I would be running probably. So, but you know what? They're in the AUR, pretty much anything I want to find. So
right. Right. Right.
that's really why I do it. Is the repos, the Arch repos are fantastic. So.
Yeah, there's a lot there. Everything in there is there, but I don't need everything. I just need certain apps. Like
Yeah, if you don't
like,
need them, there's no reason
no,
to have them. Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, I
so
do a
it's,
lot. I use a lot of weird stuff.
oh, okay.
you know,
All right, so like OBS, we need Kden Live,
Yeah.
audio recorder. Maybe Skype if I'm doing. Of course, that's been a while, but I mean Google Hangouts works, and that's web based. There's a Peer.in, there's Zoom, there's a few others.
Of course, Skype is not going to be in a lot of repos because it's proprietary.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, it used to be, but not anymore. Yeah. Yeah, maybe at the most I need 20 apps and I'm good to go.
As far as the important stuff, to
Yeah.
create videos, Kden Live,
Right.
OBS, GIMP,
Right.
Audacity, simple screen recorder. That's
Right.
pretty much
Right.
stuff I use on a daily basis.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like 2 summers ago when I tried a full install of Manjaro. I think I mentioned it, but I clicked on the AUR and it says, "Warning: this can be dangerous to your system." And I don't know why, but I thought of my fire extinguisher just in case it was dangerous and might catch fire. So I did a joke with that. Showed my fire. I grabbed it. It was like a portable one, for the house. I went like this, and Spatry replied, "You do not need a fire extinguisher to install Manjaro," or something like that. But of course, if you're a Windows user, oh my God, honey, don't do that. It says, it's a dangerous whatever. But anyway. Switch did a video about malware and routers. Okay. Yeah, that was in Linksys, Netgear, and a few others.
Pretty much all the main brands. Chances are you're running one of those brands. So.
I think it was the Russians, comrade, if I read correctly. Reboot your router, maybe reset your router. I gotta check and see if mine's on the list. But I think if I read to fix, you may have to reset your router, not just reboot. I think I could be wrong. But I think you need to hit that little button in the back or whatever, and reset the router and start over, I think. Look, privacy and security, it's a never-ending cat and mouse game, so you need to be aware of it 24 hours a day. That's just the way it is, whether Linux or Windows. Wine gaming has been the major push behind my recent hopping. Been trying to find which combo. That could be problematical. I don't use wine unless it's the drinking kind.
I can't stand wine.
Yeah.
Wine almost serves no purpose. If you really need to be gaming, just dual boot if you can. If you can't dual boot and you have plenty of RAM and a pretty good graphics card, you know what?
Right.
Gaming in a VM is not as bad as it used to be. Wine, I can tell you, 60-70% of the games you're going to want to game with wine are not going to work as you expect them to. They're just not. Wine, it's just buggy. So,
If I feel the need for speed or whatever, I just boot into Windows 10, enjoy my game. It's going to work.
yeah. If you have to run a Windows-only program, you need to be running Windows. That's just the bottom line.
Or a Mac-only program, right?
Yeah,
that's
same
how
thing.
that's how I see it. So yeah, Dreaming Wolf, don't do wine unless red wine. The joke, but yeah, I mean Windows controls gaming for the foreseeable future. So if you like to game, if you have Windows machine, stick with that. Because it's gonna work. That's what it was made for. So
Yeah.
Jeff
Okay,
said just started. Hey Tim,
Hey, I'm on Vivaldi and it's not crashing on me.
really?
So it might have been a browser issue.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Sorry to interrupt.
No,
Oh,
it's
that's
cool.
fine.
See, we solved something tonight. So if you guys are having a problem with Chrome, try Vivaldi.
Now,
Vivaldi.
Vivaldi is a nice browser, but it's not free and open source. So, but
I've
Uh,
neither
only
is
been
Chrome. So I guess it's
now I've only been on for what, about 15 seconds here, so knock
but it's
on
not
wood.
doing that. Okay. Okay.
No, what it was doing before, if any of you guys run into this, um, as I'm looking at my screen, some of the people in the chat may not know this. Right now, I'm looking at the screen. I've got Carmine. I have Toss in front of me. Lower right hand corner, I have my feed, and then I have DistroTube right there as well. And what it was doing is that you guys would talk. It switches on my screen between Toss and DistroTube, and it was getting hung up there. And then it would finally come across and say, "Page is unresponsive."
Okay.
now
And now it's okay. Okay.
Vivaldi does use the same engine as Chromium, the Blink engine. So that's why you're good on Hangouts. But I guess there was something going on with Chromium. I wonder what the issue was.
I don't know.
Strange.
That's weird.
I
Yeah.
can tell you this is the
Yeah.
first time I've put Vivaldi on a machine of mine.
Yeah.
It isn't. I take it for granted. I've been on it for 30 seconds my entire life, but it doesn't look to be a half bad web browser.
No,
So
it's not. It's very good. It's actually
Yeah.
the people that created Opera, like the original founders, they created Vivaldi. So, like it's
So-
legit.
So Tim is becoming a web browser hopper like me. Dreaming Wolf, you dual boot. Windows 10 Pro, awesome. Just hoping to run the Windows version of Steam. Oh yeah, but there, you just solved your problem, man. Don't do Wine and Linux. Just
Yeah.
go to
Wine-
Windows 10. Yeah,
You're never going to be satisfied with Wine, never. So, just you can stop that experiment before you ever get started. Just
I totally agree. I've not used Crossover versus Wine Market, so I don't know if Crossover is better. Maybe it is. King and Play on Linux. I think I've tried that. I've tried Wine and Play. It has never worked for me, so I just don't mess with it. You know, like when I need to plug in my iPad, I go straight to Windows, iTunes,
Yeah.
do what I got to do. It's just not going to work in Linux. It's just not. You know, and I don't want to try to tinker this, tinker with that. It's Christ. I still have problems with my Android phone syncing with Linux,
Yeah.
or it doesn't
Well,
run
actually,
as
the-
fast.
The
Yeah.
Android devices are pretty good with Linux, but a lot of people complain about the Apple products syncing
Yeah.
with Linux. So.
Yeah, right.
But what are you going to do? I mean, it's Apple's stuff. I mean, they really designed it to run their operating system. So,
Right.
yeah.
And iTunes works fine. I mean, I haven't plugged it in months. My iPad. I seldom use. It's usually to check Facebook messages. iPad. I'll bring it in the garage in the summer when I'm cleaning or whatever. Stream music because it's so reliable. And the apps in the Apple Store are more reliable than Android in general. They just are. You know. But yeah, the Apple iPad I have is an iPad Mini 2. I bought a refurb. Still runs. It's it's fine. So but I don't do much on it. Yeah, Mark, Chromium is open source. Yes, Vivaldi is not,
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Google Chrome is proprietary. Chromium is open source. Vivaldi
Yes.
is proprietary.
Yes. Let's see. Scott, you have Windows Machine for games, Mid for personal. Okay, why never works? Steve Winkler, Aishiba. You just reminded me years ago when I went to Italy, when I was a kid, Steve. Of course, in Brooklyn, New York, we don't have the animals like in Italy on the hill. So we came back, we were like imitating the animals. My cousin would go moo. I would do the sheep, and the rooster. It was like watching Hee Haw or something. I'll never forget. Like one of my uncles. Okay, you come to the house to eat. We're gonna have chicken. He grabbed the chicken, cut off the head, and plucked the. Oh God, it was fresh though. But then the homemade wine, oh my God. Now I know why they take a 4-hour lunch break after drinking homemade wine. It's like you have the wine, little glass. So DT, I heard that's how it is, man.
What is it like? What is it like? NyQuil?
It's it's just strong. It's
Really?
has a great home taste, like moonshine, whatever. But it's so strong. You're right. It's like NyQuil. Maybe that's what they take there instead of NyQuil. Just drink wine. What's the matter? You got a sore throat? To drink the wine. Okay, thank you.
I
can
Southerners
remember.
down here love to make homemade wine. We make it out of muscadine berries that grow wild here.
Ah, okay.
It's an interesting flavor. It's not quite like your normal grape wine. It's
I had a bad, this was 25, well, yeah, about 25 years ago. I had just a hellacious cold, sinuses clogged up, you name it. And I went over to my former father-in-law's house, and I'm sitting there, and he said, "What's wrong with you?" And I told him, "I've got this cold going, sinuses, sweats, chills, you name it." He gets a coffee mug out, and to this day, I haven't the slightest idea what the hell he put into it. But he put some stuff into it. There's some booze in there, I know that. And then he dumped hot water in it, and he said, "Here, drink it as quick as you can." I drank it as quick as I could. I set the coffee cup down, and he said, "Okay, now you got to hurry up and get home." And I went, I was getting up to go, and he says, "Oh no, you're not driving." He drove me the few blocks home, and I remember walking in the house, and I remember laying down in bed. And that was at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The following morning at 10 o'clock, I woke up, and I felt great, and I sweated everything out, and I felt better than I had in a week. And I still to this day do not know what he put in that.
He booked in a couple ludes, man, from
yeah, I was
Mexico.
about to say, yeah, it may not have just been liquor.
Wow.
Wow, that's interesting. Sometimes some of those remedies, those homemade remedies, but they just like it's all up here. It's not something that you would buy off the shelf. Sore throat, sometimes chamomile tea might do the trick. But who knows how many homemade remedies are out there. But yeah, I'll never forget the homemade wine in Italy, man. It's like, man, we would have lunch, you drink it, it's like, man, I gotta take like a 4 hour or nap or something. But that's how they do it there. Like they open up their businesses at 8, shut down at noon, back in business at 4, and it's shut down when you want to. Whatever, enjoy life,
Holy
That
crap.
don't sound too bad,
Steve Gunnick, hot toddy with apple cider vinegar.
Yeah.
Honey.
That's what we do down here is hot toddies. You make it with bourbon, you add a little honey, a little lemon.
Holy crap. If I drank that, I'd be seeing reindeer.
Now, you only do that when you're sick. I mean, that's a special drink you make for somebody. Here you go. Kind of like what happened with you. Then you sleep for 2 days.
I couldn't believe it. I went to bed fully clothed, woke up the next day, nothing on. It's like, how did I get this way? Wife said, "You got up in the middle of the night, you tore all your clothes off, and you laid back down in bed."
And you don't remember?
No, not a lick. Not a lick.
And it sounds like you were really drunk, because that's usually when you've had too much to drink. It's usually when you got to shed all your clothes because you feel really warm.
After one drink, though, dude, I mean, this is 6 ounces.
And what did he say it was again?
He didn't. That's the problem.
That he didn't. Okay.
No,
Diesel.
Probably because he didn't wind up in the slammer. He didn't want to go there,
Yeah.
for making homemade high octane 93 power gasoline drink or something. Hot toddy with cayenne pepper.
People got all kinds of recipes for it, but usually it involves. It always has bourbon. That's the main ingredient.
Or it
usually
says,
some honey,
says
some
white
lemons.
lightning.
Yeah.
White lightning.
White lightning.
You can do that.
Okay. If I I feel the onset of a cold or a sore throat, a couple shots of whiskey helps, because that's what NyQuil is. It's alcohol, right? There may be something else in there.
Well, even if it doesn't help, usually they're just trying to put you to sleep anyway.
Right. Oh, the whiskey will definitely put me to the couple shots, not a couple bottles. Important.
You see Keegan's comment?
What
Said I had a lot of Friday nights like that, Tim. Once I find my house, I'm usually okay.
Yeah.
I'm not young. I'm not young like you anymore, Keegan. I'm not young.
Oh man, drink some Fireball.
No, that stuff is horrible.
Never had that.
And isn't that the one where one of the main ingredients in it is also found in antifreeze?
No, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, that's crazy.
You guys have
No,
heard of
thanks.
Jägermeister before, haven't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I've drank Jägermeister twice, and both times really bad things happened. I'll never touch it again.
Wow.
Smart choice.
Yeah. One time I
Wow.
was evicted from an apartment because of Jägermeister.
Oh,
That was very,
jeez.
yeah, that was many years ago. It was actually
Gee,
my,
I wonder
my
what
20
happened, DT. What did you do?
Well, it was
Is
my
it
21st birthday party. And I
ah?
decided to invite everybody I knew to this 2-bedroom apartment I had. And apparently it was a really big party. I don't remember anything because we started doing shots of Jaeger. And I
Well,
seriously, like, if you ever drink so much you don't even remember what you did, it's
Yeah,
that kind of situation. The next
yeah,
day I wake
yeah.
up, the apartment
Wow.
is trashed, the carpet,
Duh.
many blinds have all been torn down, cigarette butts everywhere, and I don't know what happened because I don't even remember the party. I open the door and look outside the door, and I notice on the door there's an eviction notice on the door. So
So you
Apparently-
remembered that?
it was a heck of a party. But here's
I
the
guess,
thing.
yeah.
So that was 21 birthday party. That would have been 20 years ago. 3 years ago, I was shopping somewhere, and a guy came up to me and said, "Hey, I remember you. That was a hell of a party." And
How,
Wow.
how, long,
What?
how long ago was it?
this would have been 20 years ago. It was this
Oh.
point.
So
But
he
this guy
remembered.
remembered me and the party. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
Well, I usually drive, so I don't drink that much. I remember one time in California, I was meeting a friend of mine from high school. This was before I got married. We went somewhere, some kind of a food center thing, lots of restaurants, and I paid for a rental car and stuff, and got a nice ride and all that. He says, "Well," so I went in. And I said, "Well, just give me Pepsi." He says, "Well, here there's a law that if you drink non-alcoholic drinks, and you're a designated driver, all your non-alcoholic drinks are free." Okay, and I don't think I wound up paying for any of my drink, but it was Pepsi or Coke. That's actually pretty smart.
It's a good way to do it.
Yeah, that's pretty smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I
I don't even
remember.
take it. I don't
Yeah.
even take a chance anymore. If we go out tonight, when we went out, and I
Yeah.
had my peanut butter and jelly hamburger. I had one beer with dinner. When we
Yeah.
were leaving, gave the keys to super wife and let her
Yeah.
drive home.
Right.
Yeah, I don't drink at bars or restaurants. Haven't in years. I'm actually gonna sit down and actually have a few beers. I'm gonna do it at home. There's no point in risking,
Well, on top of
what
that,
could happen.
you go to a bar. The beers that I drink aren't, or especially like you, Derek.
No, yeah, $8 or whatever.
Yeah, eight or $10. God, you go out to a bar, you have two beers, and you could have ate for the price of it.
Oh yeah, and if you've got somebody with you and you're buying for them, next thing you know, you get the tab and it's over $100.
Yep.
And you're like, what happened here?
Mm-hmm.
Woodby says, "What does this have to do with Linux?" Well, Linux users like to drink.
Yeah, you have to drink sometimes to run.
Sometimes.
Sometimes
you
if
have
you use
to.
Linux, you have to. It's like, God, it's crashing again. Gen 2, give me that beer. You're right, yeah. Come
Hannah
on, Woodby, you
Montana.
should know better. No, I'm just kidding. Hannah Montana. Oh, my God. Hannah Montana Linux, man. Philippines rum. Interesting. I've not had that.
Yeah, I like rum. I like the aged rums.
I like rum and Coke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gen 2 equals necessary alcohol. Dreaming Wolf.
No way. Installing Gen 2?
Uh,
Oh, man. 2 beers, and you wouldn't know where the hell you were with the install.
Did
Yeah.
you see what Woodbeast replied? By the way, if this is your first time to the stream, welcome.
So when these people are
For drugs, I know.
I don't
No.
know. If you've seen some of the people, yeah, a lot of them are probably.
Maybe if we use Linux, we should be drunk. I don't know. But Woodbeast, what do you use as far as Linux? And seriously, welcome. If this is your first time, seriously, welcome. We have a custom
Welcome.
here.
Yeah.
Say hi to Woodbeast on YouTube. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, we did our little. This is a. For tonight, it was primarily news nonsense night. I haven't done these in a while, so I brought this back by request. And there was some Linux stuff, but this is just a random chat for tonight with Beast. That's why. And we are all Linux users. That's about the only thing in common tonight. But anyway,
Pretty much
yeah.
always a random chat. It's like my streams. I never plan anything. I just start streaming, whatever happens, wherever it goes.
Well, normally what I'll do is I'll start random, get to the topic,
Yeah.
and then random off.
Yeah.
That's why.
It ends up on
Yeah,
meatballs and pizza.
Yeah, mate and meatballs, right? But yeah. So yeah, and then like I said, this one would be. So I will probably edit the topic of this evening, news and nonsense, into an MP3 file, and it's a free download on archive.org to take it on the road. Hello, Ashuri, welcome. Steve Gerst.
How do you like Archive for hosting your?
It's awesome. You can do audio, video.
No.
I think they work on donations or pledges or sponsorships. I've been using
I've
it.
thought about putting all of my stuff somewhere just in case, the worst happens. One day YouTube is not around. So all of my stuff is hosted somewhere other than YouTube as well.
No, it works fine. It's open to the public. I usually put audio files, some video stuff on Archive. You can post some links on there. I mean, I don't charge for anything, but it works fine for people. Like I said, there's Dreaming Wolf, who's a truck driver, likes to listen to stuff on the road. Who knows? I may put this entire stream tonight as an MP3 file, especially for the drivers who drive long days. Listen to it to the whole thing. But normally I'll pick the topic of tonight, which was maybe 20 minutes of news and nonsense with Tim, and use that as the upload file. But unless I start getting requests, just put the whole stream as an MP3 file. That I don't mind. That I don't need a beast of a machine, because what I'll do is I'll take the stream, transcode it into a WAV file first on actually Kden Live because it's fast, and then transcode it. I don't use Audacity that thing. I'll use like Curlew or Selene Media encoder to transcode it from a WAV to a smaller MP3 file, and that's it. That doesn't take long. It doesn't take like an hour or 2 hours like video. So that I don't mind doing. It's little work, and if it makes someone happy to listen to it, sure. But normally I'll take just the core topic of the stream for tonight. But if you guys prefer the whole thing as an MP3 file, I don't have a problem with that. But it's kind of long. But I guess if you're a truck driver, well, it makes sense to listen to it that way. So, would be CentOS. Wow, that's something I have not heard in a while.
Very popular server distro, usually. Not too many people run it as a desktop.
Yeah. Thank you, Dreaming Wolf. 32 viewers, 12 likes. I know. Hit the like button. Come on.
Isn't CentOS isn't that this like crazy, obsessively stable?
Yeah, it's like Debian stable, except CentOS is
RPM based.
It's Red Hat based, yeah.
Red Hat, yeah.
Yeah. So like, if you're talking like web servers, like you're buying a web server, usually it's either going to run CentOS or Debian. It seems like for them. Although increasingly becoming popular is the Ubuntu LTSs for servers as well, yeah.
Wood Beast, do you do stuff with wood, or just that's just a random name? It's just out of curiosity. I don't know if you carve or something with wood. I don't have that kind of talent. I was just curious. But you're welcome, Wood Beast. Yeah, welcome to the stream.
One of the things I want to do in retirement is a little bit of woodworking, and I actually would like to learn how to make my own drumsticks.
Wow.
Should be pretty easy, because I think about the only thing I need is a really, really super good wood lathe.
Well, my dad plays keyboard. I don't think he's ever made his own keyboards, though. No, and he plays the accordion. We used to anyway. But that's one thing I wish I would have had the patience to learn music. I think to have a gift like that is awesome. Absolutely awesome.
What instruments do you play, Derek? Trombone, I think I heard you say.
Yeah, that's the main instrument. I can play any brass instrument, being able to play the trombone. I play little trumpet, baritone, tuba. Not very good at the French horn. That's a tough one. Yeah, it's a little different beast than the others.
Do you know any reed instruments? Clarinet or?
Yeah, I can make some sounds on them. The flute's all right. Play the little piano.
Good.
And that's pretty much it that I can say I can get around on a little bit.
Cool.
Not good with percussion, so
There's a
Well,
great,
that's because
yeah.
you have an IQ over 60. So
yeah. Well, you're
us
gonna
drum
get some
us
hate mail on that.
us drummers, some of us drummers ain't the smartest guys. It's a good thing that the good representation for us is Animal from Muppets.
Yeah.
Kyrie, you play playboard, keyboard,
Hmm.
drums, and brass. Nice, yeah, nice.
Cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, I never had the patience to learn. I mean, like I said, my dad played, but I just think it's a gift. Some people have that mind. I was gonna say check out the soundtrack to the Halo game, Halo Reach. It's a magnificent piece of music. It sounds like a big Hollywood movie soundtrack, and it's on YouTube that you can listen to it. But it's awesome. Check out Halo Reach, like the first two or three tracks from it. It's like epic and grandiose. It's really good. It's really good. That was probably the last great Halo soundtrack about 8 years ago. Halo Reach. Um, Would be so you do would. Okay, cool, nice.
Cool.
But yeah, but check out Halo Reach, and you play music. Wow,
Well, it would make sense. So he can make a lot of woodwind instruments. Maybe he
interesting.
could make a recorder. Yeah,
Right, awesome.
if he's got those kinds of skills. So. I'm sure it's a lot of work doing something like that. That's more complicated than making drumsticks, though.
Yeah, a lot more.
Yeah.
A lot more. I see some of these furniture makers and stuff, and I'm just in awe with what they can do with a raw piece of wood. Especially up in, well, you probably see it in Ohio, the some of the Amish furniture
Oh yeah.
makers. That craftsmanship is just beyond anything I could ever fathom of even coming close to.
So Scott plays keyboards, cello, violin, and well, listen. We need to get you music guys on a live stream one night and have a little concert.
We're
For
putting a
us guys
band
who
back
can't.
together.
Yeah, let's put a Linux band night here on Toss today because I can't play for crap. You know.
Yeah, I keep
if we-
forgetting. One day I'll play a little bit of some of my recordings on one of my streams. People ask me every now and then about it. So I actually
Well,
do
you're
that.
a master rapper, DT. That rap you did
Yeah,
was,
I
wasn't
could
bad.
always bust out the rap.
It wasn't bad. But yeah, you guys who can play, man. I'm serious. If you guys want to get together and join one night for a little, I think it'd be great. But I did one thing with singer Stephanie Forian live from her apartment. Of course, she's got a beautiful voice no matter what. But that turned out okay. That was last year, I think. Let's do it. Yeah, that's up to you guys. Kyrie, Wood, and somebody else who can play. You guys let me know when. Pick a date and the time. We'll just jump on the stream here, and you guys can go at it. Yeah, I think that'd be great. Live from Linux music night or something. That would be unusual.
It would be. I was about to say you don't know what you're asking.
Yeah. Yeah, just keep it family friendly. If you're gonna talk, no like heavy metal or something, or rap lyrics. I got a feeling you guys probably not gonna do that. But
Don't
Yeah,
have
but
to worry about any rap lyrics here. That's
Yeah.
of music. That's
yeah, I've never
that's-
seen violin with rap. I don't think I've ever seen that. Yeah.
I've never really gotten into the whole hip hop thing, and sometimes country can kind of get on my nerves, but I have a pretty wide taste in music. But for some reason, the hip hop, I can never get into that much of the rap. I never do it.
I better keep quiet on this because I got a lot of people commenting the last time. I think I was on your stream when I said something about music died around 1992. After that, music is dead to me. So, then
Well,
got a lot of people that agreed with me, and then a lot of people that said I didn't know what I was talking about. So.
Scott made your own chess pieces and chessboards with a wood lathe. Okay,
wow,
nice.
That would be- that would
yeah.
be some intricate work there, boy.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a big fan of the guitar. I listen to a lot of top 40 jazz, Scott. Artists like Peter White, you may have heard of. He used to be with the Al Stewart Band, the song Year of the Cat, back in the late 70s. But he's done a lot of solo stuff. Artists like Norman Brown, You can look this up on the web, but I listen to smoothjazz.com quite a bit, and I love the guitar work. A lot of great, modern contemporary jazz artists today, and it isn't all elevator music. That's like a stigma. Some of it is, but not all of it. It's awesome guitar work, talented people who keep writing music year after year. It's a gift. That's all I can say. Woodbeast, you have a Beatle guitar collection, really? Nice. I love some of the Beatles. Sure, yeah.
If I would have became a professional musician, it would have been better suited for me to have been born in probably about 1925 or so, because the big band stuff, Benny Goodman, Glenn Miller, Count Basie,
Tommy Dorsey, if we're doing
Tommy
trumpet.
Dorsey.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Those, that's my favorite music of all time.
YouTube sound is awful. Woodbeast, it wasn't too bad with when I did it last year with Stephanie. It was mostly acoustic and her wonderful voice. It wasn't too bad. With a lot of instruments, honestly, I don't know. I mean, if you guys want to give it a shot, you're more than welcome to. I'll host it. We'll just go from there. It all depends on the quality of the stream. This seems to be okay, but when I did it last year, it wasn't that bad actually. Yeah, but I don't know until you try, I guess. I'm not sure how else we could do it, but I guess it would depend on each quality of the stream where you're from for that to work.
It would depend on a lot of things. Mic, what the gain is set to, what kind of instrument are you playing? How loud is this instrument you're playing? If you're singing, are you screaming? Or are you there's a lot that's going to go on.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors. Maybe we can do a test stream one night unlisted just to see. I would say a headset mic is probably best. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a singer, but that's I think Stephanie used a high-end.
Well, they should definitely record themselves on their equipment and replay it before they show up on a live stream and see.
There you go.
Because don't be surprised if it sounds really bad.
Right. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Linux needs a way to live stream without YouTube. Well, I mean, there's Twitch.
Yeah. I mean,
but the problem is, if the internet's not good enough, it won't matter. So.
What's that thing that Rocco uses on
Zoom?
Zoom.
Yeah, but again, that's all dependent, all of them, on the quality of the internet. It won't matter really what software you use. I'm guessing. I don't know. But I would go with the headset mic, and this is like a $20 mic, and it sounds great. I just got lucky with it. And I use a USB adapter, like that. If you can see this right there, that's all it is. That's how I plug it in, and when it works. So I know DT, you have a Yeti mic, a Blue Yeti.
Yeah.
Okay, those are nice. But yeah, for singing, you probably want something like this, so you don't have to scream loud. But Stephanie did it with like a Blue Yeti type mic, but it was probably more for singers, and she sounded
probably
fine.
Much more expensive. It was probably an XLR instead of a USB mic.
Right, yeah. But that worked fine. So you guys, let me know, but give it a shot. Sure, I think it'd be awesome. Linux night with music or something. Music OS. There we go.
Music OS.
Yeah.
I can tell you, Vivaldi is running like a champ.
Nice.
Yep.
I downloaded a couple of things. The sidebar on it seems kind of.
That's weird.
I tell you, it's a very attractive browser. The way, like the title bar blends in with the background of. If you notice, it can change color depending on. Yeah.
If I'm on, I have a tab open with Hangouts and I have a tab open with YouTube.
Yeah.
The Hangouts tab is green.
Right. As color codes them. Yep.
Yep. And YouTube is red.
Vivaldi is a really interesting project. Yeah.
It is really neat. I used to use Opera. I used to be a huge Opera user when this was years ago, when they had the integrated email sidebar. I thought that was just slicker than anything. It was real nice. Everything's right there in front of you. But they as they updated and as now there was a split and the people went and created Vivaldi and Opera kind of stood where it was, they never reintroduced that feature as far as I knew.
Well, I don't know if it was a split. I just know Vivaldi, one of the original founders of opera, founded Vivaldi.
Vivaldi.
Opera is still alive, but really opera's been dead for a long time. Once they started like including ads, in the browser, I remember they started doing that like a decade ago. That kind of just put people off. It's like,
don't they have a VPN included in Opera now too?
I haven't looked at it in a long time.
Yeah. It works pretty good. I mean, it slows things down a bit, but it's not too bad. Yes. Sure. It works pretty good, I think. Like I said, with the live stream, I've had pretty good luck with Chrome and Chromium. It's got to be a setting in either Chrome or both Chrome and Chrome that's making you not stream well. It has to be. It's got to be really something.
Really
I don't
strange,
know what, but yeah.
Really strange because I at the time that it started having problems, I had Linux Mint on 18.3, and 2 streams prior to that, I had used it, no issues whatsoever. But I don't know, unless there was an update that came down and I didn't see it.
Yeah, it could be.
It might be. Yeah, because I'm not having any problems here whatsoever. Screen sharing seems okay. It's got to be in the settings somewhere. That's my guess. I don't know for sure, but if I had to guess, yeah. Because I'm okay here, so no hiccups.
Steve, this said, I assume you've cleared your cache in Chrome. Yes, I did, Steve. In fact, I thought that had potentially cured it when I jumped on the stream tonight.
Yeah.
And it just started having problems. As soon as I had problems the other night, I actually switched from Mint to Ubuntu, and then from Ubuntu to Pop OS now. And each time I reinstalled, I cleared everything out of the browsers.
Yeah.
Passwords, everything.
Yeah. Would-be says, why can't Linux do a WebRTC thing? Does Linux have something like that, DT?
I'm not sure on that one, actually.
Okay, I'll have to look. I'll have to do some research. Yeah.
See.
I'll have to do some. I bet you there is somewhere in the world something like that.
You would think, because it is it's an open source project, and pretty much every open source project is
right.
The development happens on Linux.
I bet there is. Yeah. Yeah. I think somebody else. Oh, Mark, you have a ThinkPad. Okay.
Yeah, everybody's got a ThinkPad. I might need to buy me one.
They're solid. I mean, like as far as used stuff, DT, they are solid. I mean, they just are.
They're at great prices. You're right. You can find them.
Yeah, and they play very well with Linux. They just do for whatever reason. That's why I got a bunch of them. Yeah. Did you see it? What about resetting your profile? That I don't know.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did that as well.
Okay. I still say it's something in the settings that has to be doing it. Something. I'm not sure what, but that is weird.
Well, what distro are you on? No, Tim's muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
When I started having the streaming problems, I was on 18.3 Mint Cinnamon. And then I switched over to Ubuntu 18.04.
Yeah.
Had problems with, and I had problems with Chrome and Chromium again. And then I switched over to Pop OS tonight, and that actually was running just great. But it seems to be a Chrome or Chromium issue. I tried it in both browsers. Now I've been on this.
And it doesn't matter what distro. It's just always.
Nope. Okay. It seems. Well, take it for granted. I've only been on 3 distros in the last 4 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, all 3 of them that I did.
And all 3 of them are essentially Ubuntu too. So.
Yep. And Pop OS with Vivaldi is working flawlessly right now.
Okay.
Nice. Disable all extensions. Did you have any extensions, Tim, installed?
I had the GNOME Shell integration installed. And I had the one other extension for Google Drive installed. That was it.
What you might try is uninstalling and reinstalling. Not just uninstalling. Do the purge, sudo apt purge Chromium, and then reinstall it. Right. The purge does more than just removing it. It removes all the configs and everything else. I mean, it really removes it. And then just do a fresh install.
This is something I'd like to get to this week. Can you guys see that?
Oh yeah.
It's it's an HP. What the heck is it? HP Mini. It's got like a 10-inch screen on it.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Somebody gave it to me, and I was helping some folks out, and I was doing some computer work, and I happened to have a USB drive with, I think I had a drive with Mint. I generally always have a drive with Mint on it. And it was a 64-bit build of Mint. And I plugged it into this thing, and it booted, and it said, can't read it. So I shut it off and unplugged the USB drive. And then when I tried to power it back up to boot into, I think it's got Windows 7 Starter or something dumb on it. It won't boot. It won't boot up. So I'm gonna have to screw around with it and see if I can at least get it to a screen and download a 32-bit like MX17 or something.
You want a good 32-bit Linux distribution. Linux Lite does 32-bit still, and that's a great Ubuntu-based distro.
Peppermint still does too.
Ubuntu still does 32-bit. Puppy still does 32-bit. So you got some options.
I think I might have to try Peppermint. Peppermint might be a good.
I love Peppermint. I am seriously, like I said, thinking about taking out Linux Mint Mate, put in Peppermint, which will be lighter. Not that much, but it will be. Peppermint rocks.
If I can't get this thing to boot up, DistroTube's gonna have to give me his address. I'm gonna send it to him because he wanted some low spec machines and stuff like that.
Yeah, but when you get it back, it may be running some weird stuff.
I don't want it. I don't want it back, man. I'll donate it to your channel. All yours. So I'll screw around with that.
Yeah, I bet it'll be an easy fix. I bet you it'll be running Linux next time you're on the stream.
I don't know. I got a lot of stuff going on this week. It might be next weekend's project.
It'd be cool if you could actually join the stream on it.
Oh God, no! This thing's got a. I think it's got a gig.
I proved it. You can do it. You can stream with the gig. Yeah. Maybe not with the camera on, but I proved it. Peppermint OS.
Does this even have a camera? Oh yeah, she's got a webcam on her.
Oh, there you go.
You know, now that I think about it, with just 1 gig, because just opening up Chromium or Vivaldi is going to use up all that 1 gig. Yeah.
Hey, I wouldn't use the webcam, no, because I did it when I did it twice. I did it without the webcam with less than a gig, and it worked. A little sputtering, but it was doable, and I think I shocked everybody, you know. But hey, it worked, but no webcam, and it was fine. I used
it's got 2 gigs.
2 gigs.
I thought you'd be fine. Oh yeah.
2 gigs. It's going to run like a champ. So.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't stream and do gaming at the same time or anything, but you should be okay.
Yeah, just doing a hangout, it should be.
Yeah, web-based like this without OBS, it should be fine, yeah.
Don't render video and don't compile your own kernel. Those are going to be a little bit too much.
I have no need for to do the video and compiling a kernel. I think I would rather go and get a root canal done.
Daniel needs to go. Okay, Daniel, I'll probably end this pretty soon myself. Daniel, thank you for joining on. So we'll catch you next time. Yeah.
He hung out in my stream for a couple hours, so cool. He's been on for a while.
Yeah, one big family here. Yeah. But this is the heads of the 5 families, okay? We got the Toss family, we got the DT, we got the Timo family here. It's all great, you know.
No, this thing isn't half bad. It's got 2 USB ports. Got another port that I haven't the slightest idea what it is, but it has an HDMI port.
Wow,
nice. It's not that bad then. That's
pretty cool. You can connect a real monitor to it, and you got USB ports. You can connect mic and cam, and
isn't that neat? Yeah. Well, if it doesn't boot, DT, I'll have to get your address. I'll send it to you. You can use it. You can use it on your playing with older or lower spec hardware deal.
Yeah, I've been looking around at stuff actually already, seeing what I want to purchase for things like that. I've looked around a little bit. That's why I was telling Toss I've seen so many ThinkPads. You'd be surprised how many of those things are out there.
You look, man. They're not
They're
all
everywhere.
necessarily in good shape.
Yeah, but I don't need anything in good shape. I mean,
No, I don't. You know, I mean, don't look buy something that's been cracked or anything. That's what I mean. That's what physically not broken. Yeah.
Because I did find one the other day. I mean, it looked really good. You know, like the case was shut, and then I opened it. The display was good, but then I looked at the keyboard, and like the letter K or something was missing off the keyboard. I was like, well, no need to play with that one.
Yeah. No, the ones I bought, man. I mean, it's some of them have been like refurbished or something like that. But they are, even the one that I've dropped in crack, and that's the peppermint one. It's, I mean, you know what?
You cracked the screen?
Not the screen. The piece of plastic, like on the side. Yeah. You know, I mean, the motherboard's okay, but you know what? And they're built like Toyotas. They just keep going and going and going.
It's the Corolla.
It's the Corolla, right? Yeah, no Pontiac or Chevy with those, but yeah, they keep rocking. I mean, they're not a beast of a machine, but I don't need it. I don't render videos though. I just for testing or for streaming. This Lenovo desktop is 7 years old and it works. Yeah, it just
as long as you can get a Linux distro installed and you can get a web browser working. I mean, think about it. That's 95% of everything you need to do right there.
98% for me.
And if this machine is 10, 12, 15 years old, as long as you can get an operating system that boots in a web browser, you're golden. I mean, that's...
Right. Yeah, it's, like I said, my next machine, I'll do some research, but I want it to render videos faster. That's one thing that I really would like to have, That's why I don't do a lot of stuff where I have to edit long videos. It just takes too long,
Well, the problem is, the prices of hardware now are just getting outrageous.
I know.
The kind of CPU you need, you're looking, you might have to drop $1,000.
It's $1,000. It's almost like buying a gaming machine, but
and the prices of graphics cards is crazy.
I don't know what's going on with that lately.
It's because of all the demand because of the crypto mining.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, all of the Bitcoin miners, because they requires GPUs. So the more demand,
So we all pay the price.
Yeah, NVIDIA and AMD are jacking up the prices for all these high-end video cards because, all the Bitcoin miners, they're going to pay those prices. Of course, now you've got to pay them too.
This raises a question for me. I'm not all that up on like huge... I'm not an encyclopedia of specs by any means. But if I'm just sitting down and I'm doing stuff like this, and occasionally maybe watching Netflix or something like that on a machine that I've got, is there ever any real... And I don't do any gaming. None. Is there ever any need for me to get a machine that's got all the NVIDIA stuff, all the jack-up graphics cards or anything? Or am I good just using the same thing that I've got right here with the integrated...
For what you want to do, yeah.
Okay. Where you need a real video card, if you do video rendering, if like making videos, you have to have a video card for that. If you game, you have to have a real video card for that. The integrated Intel and AMD graphics are not going to work for that stuff. But for what most people do on their computer, you're just fine with what you got. Yeah.
Good.
The other problem you'll run into is multi-monitors. That's another one where sometimes having a dedicated graphics card is going to be needed because you need all those ports.
Yep. Like
the NVIDIA card I bought the other day has 5 ports. So I can plug in 5 monitors if I needed to.
And for me, I'll hook a second monitor up to this, but I will never have the need for anything more than that ever. So, cool. Thanks.
If it's any kind of heavy multimedia stuff like gaming or rendering, then obviously you need a beast of a machine. But putting that aside, nobody needs it. Most people on YouTube who are content consumers don't need those kind of machines. It's for us guys like me and DT who need. It would be nice to have a beast of a machine to make this easier and faster doing all this content.
And I'm not really a gamer. If I didn't have to render video, I would need that $350 graphics card I bought a couple weeks
Right.
ago, but I had to have it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's why I try to do as little rendering as possible. Now,
Because
if
I don't want a 1 hour video that I make and then try to render it and it takes 8 hours. You know, that's kind of what you would be looking at using like the integrated graphics. You really
well,
need.
because then you lose the enjoyment of it. It's like, gee, I gotta do this again, kind of. That's not.
Yeah.
Now, I don't mind rendering or transcoding video to audio,
Right.
Because that's quick, Well, but when you're talking video, man, it's
Yeah, some of that stuff
takes
can
a
take
lot.
hours. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
it can have your
Right.
machine tied up all day. If it's a
Yes.
low end machine.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
16 gigabytes of RAM. That seems to be the magic number nowadays. 16 gigs of RAM, huh?
Yeah, 16 is good. 16 covers pretty much everything you'll ever need.
Okay.
For me, I've got 8 in the machine that I'm using right here, and perfect.
Well, unless you do like a lot of VMs, even 8 is perfectly fine. Yeah.
Yeah, 8 is good. You can even do VM with 8.
Yes.
One VM, but if you do like 2 or 3 at a time,
You can't.
like I like to give my VMs, 4 gigs of RAM. If I've got 2 or 3 of them open, yeah, I better have at least 16 gigs of RAM on my physical machine. 32 would probably be better at that point.
Right. Yep.
But that's an extreme case. 16 gigs of RAM is plenty for 99% of everything out there. So you're never going to use up all that RAM. So
no.
Oh wow!
At that point, I'm not even sure if you'd really need to bother with swap. You got that much RAM. So,
Right.
Yep.
Would be says a joke. Yeah, go ahead, Tim. Yeah.
No, go ahead, Toss. Go ahead.
Woman charged with beating her husband to death with his guitar collection. At her hearing in front of the judge, he asked her, first time offender? She replied, no, first a Gibson, then a Fender. Oh, man.
Wow.
Randy, talk to me, see if I can help you. My son works at Dell. Awesome. Thank you, I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, it's just that with all that's been going on with my son's graduation, car getting fixed, and my dad still trying to sell his movie, and then the AdSense revenue's down. It's just all at once. I just don't have the funds now to just go out and just buy one. But thank you. I'll keep that in mind, Randy. Thank you. Yeah.
That's interesting. I was just reading an OMG Ubuntu article posted, I think, yesterday, that Dell was offering some new laptops with Ubuntu pre-installed.
Yeah, they updated their what's it called, developer line or whatever it is.
Yeah, the problem is like the basic model, like the lowest end model, costs right at $1,000.
Oh, it's that much? I thought it was like $850 or something, or
Wow.
$879.
It's crazy high. Well,
Yeah.
pull it up. I think it was 960 something. I don't know. Where I thought, man, that is kind of high for like their lowest end model that they're offering with Ubuntu. You would think they would offer some kind of budget model.
Are those things based on like the XPSs and?
Yeah, they
And that-
still do the XPS.
Okay.
Now that's a higher end machine.
Yep.
But this thing that they were offering the other day on that article was a Core i5 with 4 gigs of RAM.
And they want $1,000.
And no dedicated graphics card.
That's
Just an i5 with
high.
4 gigs of RAM
Yeah,
for $1,000. And I thought, you've got to be crazy. I mean, there's
The
no
H-
way.
The HP I'm on right now has an i5, eighth generation i5. It's got 8 gigs. Surprisingly, it has a CD drive, and it's got a little bit of an upgrade on the speakers. And I got this at Micro Center in November or December, and I think all in, after buying a mouse and some other stuff, I think I was at $525.
Oh, yeah. That's what I would expect to pay for these kinds of specs. I would expect to pay between $400 and $500 for a machine like this at Best Buy. And I'm reading the specs right now. Pricing, it starts at $943, 15-inch screen, Intel i5, 4 gigs RAM, integrated graphics, and a non-backlit keyboard. $943.
Well,
insane.
does it develop, going back to my question about the dedicated video cards?
Mm-hmm.
Does a developer need a dedicated video card if the only thing you're doing is playing around in terminals.
It would be
and-
nice, I mean, to have it.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what they're
Yeah.
doing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, again, if you're doing anything with video, I mean, what are they
Yep.
developing? Are they doing any kind of web development or anything? I don't know. You do
Yeah,
anything with Blender or any
Yeah,
kind of
then you-
animation? Yeah.
Yeah. That. What are the specs on the machine behind you, ET?
Oh, this is the cheapest thing going. This is a Toshiba satellite that I bought 3 years ago. It is a AMD A8. Their APU. No dedicated graphics card. 6 gigs of RAM. I paid $320, I think, for 3 years ago at Best Buy.
Gotcha. You
It
still have
runs Linux great. It came with Windows, I think 8 at the time. Yeah. And just Windows was so slow on it, even playing with it at the store. I knew I was going to put Linux on it anyway, so it didn't matter. I wiped out Windows, put Ubuntu 16.04, the LTS on it, and it just ran great. So
and you have Solus on it right now. don't you?
Solus is on it now. It runs fine too. No lag, no slowness. It just,
Yep, nice.
and again, it was barely running Windows 8 when I bought it. And they sell these things at the stores like that. I mean, they know they're
Yeah.
underpowered to run Windows.
Yeah.
But you know what? Linux runs fine on them. You just
Mhm.
got to get Windows off of it.
Well, that's why I think a lot of consumers still don't know that you can revive that machine, you know. I mean, if they don't know, that's why, I've been trying to show like 2 weeks ago or last month with Peppermint OS running with less than a gig of RAM. I mean, it's doable. I don't recommend it, but it's doable, you know. But yeah, if you have a machine with at least 2 gigs, it should be fine with most Linux. Not GNOME desktop, but with most Linux, it
Yeah.
should be fine, yeah.
Boy, the more I'm tripping around in Vivaldi, thanks for mentioning that, guys. Saying give Vivaldi a try. It's working flawlessly, and I actually like the web browser.
Yeah, unless I never would have.
There's nothing wrong with that browser. The only reason I don't run it, like I said, it's not free and open source software. I like Firefox, but I mean,
Yeah.
as far as does it work? Yeah, it's a great browser.
It's speedy, quick. That's for sure.
It is. When you first, and the same way your first impression of it was, wow, what a nice looking browser. It's the same way every time I open it. If I do install it and take a look at it, because every now and then they'll have a big release, and I'll check out, what's going on with it.
Scott's tossing in some jokes here. What do houses and Microsoft Windows have in common? Bugs come in through open windows. Randy, you have an FX 8350, 16 gig of RAM. Here we go with the 16 gigs again. Okay, cool. 2 AMD Radeon 7870 driver video cards. 2 of them. Okay.
Yeah, Mark Yates in the chat is telling me all about different chip architectures, and then he
Yeah.
mentions he's a big nerd. Yes, you are, Mark.
Yes, you are. Yes. A little bit above my head, but that's okay.
A lot of nerds hang out here, though. It's cool.
That's cool. Yeah. All right, it is 12:30, so 5 minutes. We'll make this a last call for comments and questions or whatever. Then we'll wrap it up for this evening. Thank you, everybody.
Sorry about the pains that I was having earlier.
No, hey, I think we all learned something. When all else fails, Vivaldi to the rescue, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Asheri, 16 gigabyte of RAM apparently rocks. For
And
you
you know
nerds,
what?
yes. Z
Vivaldi-
is in the house. Welcome, Z.
Hey, Zip.
Yeah,
Now, Zeb, just for you, I'm going to stay on. If you want to join me, send me an email, even though I'm a little tired. But for you, because of Peppermint, saved one of my machines.
it's Zeb. We got to get Zeb on.
We got to get on this Zebby. Zebby?
on,
Zebby.
Zeb.
Hey, Zebby. Hey, oh.
Zebedee.
Zebedee,
Zebedee
got to
the
get on the
boss.
stream. I'll stick around a little bit more. For you. I mean, I got a snack here ready to go in case I got to stay awake. And
And
don't bring
the
back those dip switches back. Okay.
reason I knew about Vivaldi originally is because it was named after one of my favorite classical composers.
Yeah, I saw that when I did the search for Vivaldi.
Yeah,
Antonio-
Antonio Vivaldi is one of my favorite Baroque era composers. You know what they
Nice.
say: if it's not Baroque, don't fix it.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Boy,
You know,
oh,
I
boy.
have maybe we should end the stream with some more stuff here. Hang on here. I got
Coming up with musical jokes.
I don't have musical jokes. What do I have here? I saved this for a future, but I'll do a few here. These are, what do I have here? Okay, these are actual church announcement bloopers. Have you heard about this before? Church announcement bloopers?
Yeah, I've seen some of them. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see what I can do here. Give me a second here. Okay. All right. I'll do a few, then we'll just wrap this up. But since we've been on a roll with jokes and stuff.
You call this a roll?
It's sort of. Well, for the Linux community, it's a roll. Yeah.
True.
But okay. Here we go. These are actual church bloopers. I got like 100 of them. I'll just do a few tonight and maybe another news and nonsense. Okay. Here we go. For those of you who have children and don't know it, we have a nursery downstairs. These are actual church bloopers. The 8th graders will be presenting Shakespeare's Hamlet in the church basement on Friday at 7. The congregation is invited to attend the tragedy. This being Easter Sunday, we will ask Mrs. Lewis to come forward and lay an egg on the altar. These are actual announcement. The preacher will preach his farewell message, after which the choir will sing "Break Forth with Joy." Thursday night, potluck supper, prayer, and medication will follow. Oh man!
Oh boy!
This is really bad but funny. Scouts are saving aluminum cans, bottles, and other items to be recycled. Proceeds will be used to cripple children.
Oh jeez!
Oh God! Nobody proofreads.
Josh,
go ahead.
I had to look up some of the Rodney Dangerfield lines. 'Cause I just think they're funnier than all get out. I got a couple here. If you mind if I throw them out there?
Yeah, let me do a few more here, and then sure, man. Let's see, what do we have here? Evening massage, 6 p.m. instead of evening message. Evening massage. Hey, praise the Lord. Hey. The pastor would appreciate if the ladies of the congregation would lend him their electric girdles for the pancake breakfast next Sunday morning. Here, all right. One last one for tonight. I'll save the rest for another one. The audience is asked to remain seated until the end of the recession. Okay. It just goes. There's like hundreds of these. I'm like, oh my God, they're idiots who goes. Ushers will eat latecomers. Really?
Wow.
It just goes on and on. Remember in prayer the many who are sick of our church and community.
Oh boy.
Okay.
That one's not too bad. I can understand where they're coming from on that one.
Yeah, but God, I mean, we were talking about drinking and stuff. Today's sermon: how much can a man drink with hymns from a full choir? Don't let worry kill you. Let the church help. Oh, I gotta do this. This is the last. Okay. Pastor is on vacation. Massages can be given to the church secretary. Oh, God. Okay. All right. I'll save the rest for another time, but...
Here's some Rodney Dangerfield for us tonight.
Yeah.
My psychiatrist told me I was crazy, and I said I wanted a second opinion. He said, okay, you're ugly, too.
Right.
I told my wife the truth. I told her I was seeing a psychiatrist, and she told me the truth. that she was seeing a psychiatrist, 2 plumbers, and a bartender. Wow. When I was born, the doctor took one look at my face, turned me over, and said, "Look, twins." Okay, couple more here.
Yeah.
My wife is always trying to get rid of me. The other day, she told me to put the garbage out. I said to her I already did. She told me to go and keep an eye on it.
There was a couple popped into my head. He said, I get no respect. Last week I met the Surgeon General. He offered me a cigarette.
I was so poor growing up. If I wasn't a boy, I wouldn't have had anything to play with. Oh, boy. Oh, that should get you demonetized really quick.
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah,
Thank
we're
you.
getting close.
Yeah, really.
On Halloween, the parents sent their kids out looking like me. Okay, one more. What a kid I got. I told him about the birds and the bees, and he told me about the butcher and my wife.
Oh,
Okay.
what else pops to my head? I got no respect, not even as a kid. My uncle was something. Let me tell you, he asked me to sit on his lap. He was sitting in the electric chair.
Yep. The one I said the other night, I went to the doctor and I said, "Doctor, every time I look in the mirror, I feel like I'm going to throw up." And the doctor said, "Well, hell, at least your eyesight's good."
Steve has a go on. Steve Gunnick. What did the drummer name his twin daughters? Anna 1, Anna 2. Oh, man.
See, I'm a drummer and I should be saying I don't get it. Steve, do you know how you get your drummer off the front porch of your house? You pay him for the pizza.
Our next song is Angels We Have Heard Get High.
Oh, no.
That's my favorite Christmas tune there. Right?
Oh, God. It's unbelievable, man. There's like so many. It's
Another Rodney Dangerfield.
yeah.
I worked in a pet store and people would ask how big I would get.
The church will host an evening of fine dining, superb entertainment, and gracious hostility. Instead of hospitality, yeah. The over 60s choir will be disbanded for the summer with thanks. Okay. Yes, Steve, silly stuff. Italian brass instrument equals stromboli. But a bump bump. I told my doctor I wanted to stop aging. He gave me a gun. Good one, Spin Viking, yes.
I was such an ugly kid when I played in the sandbox. The cat kept trying to cover me up. Boy.
See what you newbies are missing on a Linux night, you know.
No kidding. And here they tuned in and they thought that they were going to be getting the world's best technical advice.
No, that's Microsoft Monday. That's a
Yes,
different
yeah,
day.
or Windows Wednesday or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. My wife and I were happy for 20 years. Then we met. Enjoy your holiday too, Steve. Yeah, we're just going to wrap this up. This is it's been fun. Where is Don Rickles when you need him? Really? Yeah, he was awesome too.
Didn't Don Rickles, he passed?
I
Didn't
think
he pass
so,
away
yeah.
last year?
Yeah, something like Mm-hmm. Well, somebody thinks this live is on fire tonight. Thank you, Asher. Okay. Yeah, and see, no booze required.
If it isn't, somebody's going to start one. That's for sure.
Yeah, really. There was a story that Don Rickles told because he used to go on tour with Frank Sinatra a lot. And I guess Frank Sinatra supposedly liked to drink. So one night they did a show together. I guess Frank was boozing it up. They were back at the hotel room, and Don and Frank were like talking, and this hotel room had these fancy hotel, big sliding door, glass doors and stuff overlooking the ocean and the sky and stuff. And I guess there was a very bad lightning storm, flashes of lightning. So Frank turns to Don and says, "Okay, now listen, I'm tired, and I want you to tell all these reporters to go away." Oh, man.
Spin Viking, when George Burns was asked why he didn't date women his own age, he said there weren't any.
Yeah.
How does every time start a joke? By looking over your shoulder.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Boy, oh boy.
I just thought of a dirty Italian. I can't say it here live, but
here we go.
I can't go there. But yeah, okay.
I was waiting for it to start.
Yeah, I'm not.
I thought it was going to be Tim. When Tim said Rodney Dangerfield, I was like, oh.
No, I was selective there. I was selective.
You were doing the PG-13 rated ones.
Yes. Yep. Definitely.
Maybe we should do one like adult Linux show one night and just tell everybody this is not what you think.
Adult Linux. That could be interesting right there.
Yeah, adult Linux, like with adult jokes,
Wow. Well, it has been a fun evening, that's for sure.
It has, yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody in the chat. This was great. It was fun. Like I said, I will probably edit this sometime next few days or whatever when I feel like it. Just do the news nonsense portion of it in an MP3 file if you want to take this with you on the road. Archive.org. I'll let you know when it's up.
Yeah, before you go, everybody, like, subscribe, share.
Check out DT's channel, DistroTube, and see what next unstable system he will test and freeze up one night. Oh, wow, Steve. You have letters, Dad, from a girl he was writing to during World War II. She was from New York and wrote about going out with friends and new singer Frank Sinatra. Interesting. Okay.
And apparently one of Frank Sinatra's favorite drinks, oddly enough, was Jack Daniels, which you would think he would drink something better than just Jack Daniels, but apparently he loved Jack Daniels whiskey. So
he was a common man, I guess, when it came to booze. What can I say?
Apparently he really loved it, if some of the stories are correct.
Yeah, you're right. Right. All right. All right. We'll catch you guys sometime during the week. Have fun, and we'll do another live stream sometime during the week. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and support the channel. Check out DistroTube, of course. Thank you, Tim, as always. Have a safe Memorial Day. Be safe. Don't text and drive, not just on the holiday, but all the time. Don't do it. Period. It's not worth it.
Don't eat too much.
Well, that's a different ball game there, DT. But, yeah, and be careful. Don't go over your 15 farts a day limit. That may affect your love life, But that was part of the news and nonsense stream before. But anyway. All right, I'm going to end this, guys. Thank you, DT, Tim, and the stream. Have a good holiday.
Bye. Take care, Derek.
Bye-bye.
Peace.